control, shoveling dirt in every hole. Predators to condemn your soul, watching you and watching me. We're all connected but separated, misunderstood and so frustrated. A million armies of one have invaded, watching you and watching me. We live behind glass curtains that act like nothing's wrong. Soon you will belong. I know you're out there somewhere. We've watched you for so long. Wait for you to fall. We'll expose you all. I know you're out there somewhere watching me. The little brother wants to make headlines, be immortalized. Everyone's got an electric eye with the digital spies. They've watched you for so long. I know you're out there somewhere watching me. We the people have taken over. We the people are little brother, standing by to dethrone each other, watching you and watching me. Paranoid, the lens is our weapon, desensitized in our lust for attention, democratized by our voyeur obsessions, watching you and watching me. Slaves to perfection, don't let them project you as you are. Feel your every flaw. I know you're out there somewhere. We've watched you for so long. Wait for you to fall. We'll expose you all. I know you're out there somewhere watching me. Little brother wants to make headlines, be immortalized. Everyone's got an electric eye with the digital spies. They've watched you for so long. I know you're out there somewhere watching me. Stay in line, don't make a mistake. We're watching. We watched you for so long. We wait for you to fall. We will expose you all. I know you're out there somewhere watching
Let your experience begin right now. From high atop the mountains of British Columbia to you listening around the world, this is Spaced Out Radio. You can follow us on our website, spacedoutradio.com, on Twitter, @SpacedOutRadio. Give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. You can follow us on Instagram, Dave Scott, SOR, or on our YouTube channel, Spaced Out Radio Show. Buckle up, space travelers. It's time to go for a ride as we are live on Spaced Out Radio.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening and welcome to Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott, and thank you so much for tuning in at spacedoutradio.com as well as on Spreaker. As once again we come in from the frozen Canadian tundra, battle our way past the wild animals, sidestep Bigfoot, and enter Uncle Jimbo's cabin, stoke the fire, heat this place up, and broadcast you live on this Wednesday night, early Thursday morning if you're on the East Coast. Here at SOR, we do this thing 3 hours a night, 7 days a week, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern Time. We want to be your official one-stop shop when it comes to the spiritual, supernatural, paranormal, conspiratorial, and so much more. All of our music is provided by legendary guitarist Ron Bumblefoot Thal. You can find his new album, Little Brother Is Watching, by going to our website, spacedoutradio.com. If you're on social media and you hang around a bit, hang out with us on Twitter, @SpacedOutRadio. Give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. On Instagram, we can be followed at Dave Scott, SOR. Our YouTube channel is Spaced Out Radio Show. That's where we keep all of our archives. And, of course, our website is spacedoutradio.com. At this time, as we do every night, we want to send a shout-out to our fans listening on the SHR Media Network, in the Spaced Out Radio chat room, Paranormal Forum, and Paranormal Into the Night. If you're a fan of Spaced Out Radio, coming soon on our website is the Space Travelers membership, where for only $5 a month, yeah, just $5, you can win some prizes. Take part in private group interviews, special section on our website, monthly newsletters, and so much more. We're going to give you a heck of a lot more than just access to our archives. Tonight's show is brought to you by Rivulet Reiki and Readings, providing healings in person or at a distance. It's purpleplates.com, helping heal your body, mind, and soul. The official newspaper of SOR is the New Agora newspaper. And Spirit Storybox is the official ghost hunting app of Spaced Out Radio. It's only available on the iPhone. The last time we had Sandee Mac on Spaced Out Radio, we were able to learn about the amazing healing ability of Sandee and her past life regression therapy. During that program, we talked about my booking coordinator for this show, Corey, who suffers from epilepsy. Corey was actually regressed by Sandee to see if she could figure out how to stop Corey's seizures. Well, I'm going to give you the short version of the story here. Corey regressed, lived in ancient Egypt. She was stoned to death after being accused of cheating on her husband. When Sandee did the procedure on Corey and took that pain away from the stoning, Corey actually went seizure-free for almost 5 months. Now, I don't know if I would believe it if I didn't know Corey as well as I do, but to see Corey happy, healthy, and for a short while seizure-free, well, to me, it was pretty enlightening to say the least. So tonight, we're opening up the show to you. If you've had a lifelong of pain, anxiety, phobias, or anything else, I want you to call in tonight. 702-302-4556. That's 702-302-4556. And let us have a chat with Sandee Mac. Sandee's doing live regression healings tonight on you. It's time for you to get healthy. This is timely, and this is real. We bring in Sandee Mac back into Spaced Out Radio now. Sandee, how are you?
I'm outstanding, Dave, and thank you so much. And you really do have a huge menu of everything that's going on in the metaphysical, spiritual, and paranormal world. That's great.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time, Sandee, to do this show again. I had such an amazing experience with you listening to what happened with Corey because we were absolutely able to go in depth. I had heard the story with Corey before, but to get your version of it as well as hers at the same time, it really, really worked well. And I thought it was very, very good to say the least.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, there's always new stories, and I'm so fortunate to be in this line of work/service because I never get bored. Everyone has a different story and a different time and different experiences that all relate to present time that we're in. It really shows that there's a matrix that connects everything together, past, present, and future, all the levels, all the people, all the different realities.
Now, Sandee, we do have a caller right off the bat. I'm going to get to them in just a moment. So, caller, you just hold on for a couple of seconds if you don't mind. Sandee, what got you into this field?
Well, Dave, my background is in mental health. My actual degrees from the university are in criminology and fine art. That's why I say I'm very well qualified for everything. But I worked for several years when I got out of university as a psychiatric social worker at an inpatient psychiatric facility in northern Wisconsin. And what I saw in the mental health field was that we really don't do very much to help people. At least we didn't back in the 60s. We would lock people up, we would drug them up, and, there were people that had been there since the 20s and 30s. And it really set me out on a search to try to find some alternative healing modalities and protocols and systems and anything else that could offer more help than what was going on with the traditional, not only mental health, but the medical tradition as we have it in this country. And that really sent me on a lifelong search, at least 30, 40 years of trying to find alternative and do different ways of doing things. And when you add the element in of looking at things from a multidimensional perspective, which may include the possibility of reincarnation, it really filled in the blanks for me and for a lot of people about different things. And I became less attached to whether this was really quote-unquote true history that could be verified with people. In some cases it can, and in some cases it can't. But by being able to have that as a model to work with, I've been able to help quite a few people, not everyone, of course, be able to live life more comfortably, more easily, more pain-free, and certainly have a lot more clarity about some of the situations that they've struggled with.
Did you think, Sandee, that this would become as successful as it is for you? Did you think that spiritually you would be able to bring people back, like you did with Corey, back to ancient Egypt and bring it right forward to what is happening in her life today? Or was this just an experiment that just kind of took off on its own?
Well, I studied past life regression therapy, or past life regression work, with a man who really did pioneer working with groups, a man named Dick Sullivan, and I trained with him in the 70s. But my goal was always to use it in a therapeutic model. I was less interested in proving whether it was real or not, and I'm less interested in just people for pure curiosity, but really my more area of interest is how can we use this to really help people? So I've always focused it on that way of looking at things. And I don't know if I'm surprised about it or not, but I certainly know that it has helped lots and lots of people.
Excellent. We're going to hop right into this because tonight, after the last time we had you on the show, you said you had no problem taking live callers to do these past life regression therapies. And so that's what we're doing tonight. And we have a caller right off the bat, area code 206. Who's calling and where are you calling from?
Kelly.
Hi,
Seattle.
Kelly. Hi, Kelly. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right. Sandee, how do you want to work this?
Kelly, where are you calling from?
Seattle, Washington.
Oh, Seattle. Okay, great. Well, Dave, I should be clear that I'm not going to be doing a full regression session of 2 hours or more with each person.
No.
But I am using my dowsing instrument to be able to access a significant event or more in a significant life that directly relates to an issue that someone has currently in their life now. And I really need to make clear with your listeners that I am absolutely not psychic or gifted in any way that many people are. In fact, I think of myself as kind of like the Helen Keller in the field. I don't see or hear or feel anything different than most other people do. So I'm the most unsensitive person in that particular way.
Awesome. How do we want to start this? Do we want to hear what Kelly's problem is right off the bat?
Sure, Kelly, if you could just give me a little Cliff Notes brief thing about an issue that you might have in mind that we might possibly see if there's some past life connections with.
In a general sense, it has strongly to do with social anxieties.
Social anxiety, okay. And how long has this been going on for you?
Birth.
I'm sorry?
Birth. Since birth.
I couldn't
She said
understand what she said, Dave.
she said since birth.
Oh, since birth, social anxiety. And so does it manifest that you're uncomfortable around people, or around crowds, or could you just give me a little bit more information?
I get social, I have a toxic reaction from people. They feel uncomfortable around me a lot of times.
They feel uncomfortable around you. Do you feel uncomfortable around them?
No. Often I'm too open, and things spiral from there.
Oh, okay. What about animals? Do you have a thing with animals?
None. I love animals.
Okay. All right. Let me let me just check and see if there's some past life connections here that we might be able to help with that. Get a clue here. And I'm just going to douse this information, and then we'll let you tune in and hopefully get some more clarity. Okay, Kelly, let's see here. Let me see. So I'm asking first if I have permission, and she's verbally giving us permission, and I am getting permission. And let me see. And I'm getting yes, there is some past life connection. There would be a couple different lifetimes that we might need to clear, but let's just focus on the primary one right now. And just going back, let me see. I'm getting that you are female in this other lifetime. And let's see how old you are. Young girl, about 12 years old. And this could have a variance of a year or two. And how long ago was this? About 1,300 years ago, Kelly. That would put us around the year 700 for you. And finally, I'm going to find out where this was, just a general area. Somewhere in Europe, Eastern Europe. So if you think about Eastern Europe, could be up in Russia, the Ukraine, Poland, Romania, Bulgaria, all the way down to like Greece or Turkey. So in the 700s in Eastern Europe, what I'd like to invite you to do, Kelly, would be to just close your eyes for a moment, go inside and trust any impressions coming in, even if it feels like you're making them up, dear. Just trust whatever's coming in and tell me, does it feel like you're indoors or does it feel like you're outdoors?
It feels like space, darkness.
I can't hear what she said, Dave.
She said it feels like space and darkness.
Okay. All right. So just, again, try. Does it feel like you're space and darkness? Does it feel like you're in a room, or does it feel like you're outdoors somewhere or in some other kind of structure?
It feels like oblivion.
Oblivious. Okay. See if I can get a little more information then. Have you ever done any kind of meditation or regression or altered state work at all?
I have, and it's very difficult to hypnotize me.
Okay. Well, we're not necessarily talking about hypnosis. It's just sort of tuning in at another level. Let's see. You're female. Yeah, definitely female. Young girl. Let me see if it feels like you're in a city or town or a village or out in the country. More out in the country, not like in a big city or anything. Let me see. And it feels like, or what I'm dowsing is that you're alone. Okay. All right. Just keep being open to any other thoughts or ideas. Even if you don't see it with your inner vision, just trust the feeling or the impression or the thought that comes in. Any other impressions there?
No, there's just a block of darkness.
And the darkness, do you have a sense that that's because you're outdoors in that way in the night, for example?
No, because I can't turn myself over to this experience.
Oh, because you can't turn yourself over. Is there a part of you that feels afraid of it, or like won't be successful, or something might come up that you can't handle?
It's just not materializing.
It's not materializing. Okay. I understand. Let me just see if I can get a little more clarity with just my pendulum here. You're you're alone. You're in the country. I am getting that it is nighttime. Let me see if you live nearby. Maybe. And let's see, are you like a farmer person or peasant person, or if you're more like merchant class or upper class or royalty of some kind? No. You're more like perhaps country folk or farmer type people. Does she live with her family?
I'm receiving no impressions, but I do quite enjoy the realms of nature.
Okay. All right. So you like to be out.
That is my passion in my current life.
Okay. Excellent. Well, I'm glad that you're outdoors and that it is kind of in more of a rural area. Does she live with her family? Yes. Okay. Let me see. Do you have a sense at all, Kelly, that there may be something limiting your vision, like you might be blind or handicapped in any way? Do you have a sense of that at all?
No.
Okay, that's not resonating. I was just wondering, because sometimes that happens. Okay. Let me see if we can move forward a little bit and see what's going on with her. She lives with her family, and if something happened, yes, let's see what that is. If you even a thought, you might not get the picture, but even a thought that comes through of anything that resonates.
I tell you honestly, it's a blank, dark slate.
Okay. But you enjoy the outdoors. Let me see. So what I'm getting is that your work or the way you spend your time has to do with the rural area, maybe helping with the farm or farm chores or helping. I mean, we're talking the 700s, so you probably aren't going to university or school of any kind there. Yeah, just kind of basic survival things that people would do in those times. Something happened. Yes, let's see what that is. Did something happen with her family? Did something happen with her village or town? No. Did something happen with her? Yes, let's see. Was this an accident? No. Was it something frightening or upsetting in some capacity? Yes. Was it some kind of a natural disaster type thing? Like maybe an accident, like fell off a cliff, or there was something like that. And I'm getting no. Was it something involving other people? I'm getting yes. Was this, was she alone when this occurred? Yes. Was it something involved, if you've got any guesses, let me know those as well. Was it something involved one other person? No. Go ahead.
I don't want to interject my imagination.
Well, I want that because some part of you has the information, and that's what I'm suggesting is if you have any thoughts, you tell me what you're getting. I will douse whether that seems to be more or less accurate. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the 700s, when was Pompeii?
Pompeii, I think that was, I'm sorry, I didn't know we were going to do a history pop quiz.
I will look that up. Pompeii.
You'll look that up, okay.
I do have an aversion, an almost...
An aversion to? You have an aversion to what?
I fear them. I obsess on them sometimes.
Obsess on them what?
Earthquakes and floods.
Oh, earthquakes and floods. Okay. Natural disasters. Okay. So it may have been something of that caliber, an earthquake, a flood, a volcano, a tsunami, a wildfire, something like that. Okay. What else comes to mind? Anything else there? I'm not necessarily getting Pompeii per se, but there may have been some type of a disaster type thing, or something involving one or more other people. Let's see. It may be more than one person. Okay. Any other thoughts coming in?
I can only project that, I'm a person who's riddled with guilt, and I would only project possibly that maybe I was troublesome to my family and became a pariah.
I'm not getting that you were, but I would suggest the guilt might be because something happened and you blamed yourself, or if it was something that happened with a lot of other people, that you might have what we call survivor guilt. Are you familiar with that?
Yes, but I also feel very strongly that I'm blamed, that there's a blame on me because I caused something. And I feel that
you caused something. Okay. And you took responsibility for something that may have been perceived as a natural disaster. Is that right?
I don't know. I'm telling you the elemental things that I struggle with and how they may relate to a possible past life.
All right. Great. All right. Let me see. and let me see if you actually, from what my pendulum says, is if you were directly to blame for whatever this incident may have been. And I'm getting no, you weren't to blame. So what I'm, maybe Dave's got the information on Pompeii. Were you looking that up right now, Dave?
Well, Pompeii, it ended around the 456 mark, but between 550 AD to 750 in Italy, there were heavy rains that brought great floods across the entire country.
Mm. I have a tremendous fear of water drowning. The ocean scares me.
Me too.
And yet I always wind up moving there and living nearby.
Mm-hmm. Sandee, are you with us right now? I think we're having a little bit of a Skype issue here. On that note, Kelly, I'm going to get you to hold on. So you stay right where you are. I'm going to reconnect with Sandee here on Skype. And we're going to go to a break here on the mighty Spaced Out Radio as we talk with Sandee Mac. Design a New Destiny is her website. We will be right back on Spaced Out Radio right after this break.
Would you like to become one of our space travelers? All you have to do is click on the Space Travelers icon at spacedoutradio.com. For only $5 a month, you can get access to some great prizes, as well as private monthly shows, newsletters, and a membership section on our website. Become a space traveler today.
Hi there, this is your medium Joanna from Spaced Out Weekend, 2 Mediums and a Large. I would love it if you would come and join us with host James Tyson every other Sunday on Spaced Out Weekend. Together, we will take your calls and your questions live. Our goal is to provide you with a positive outlook on deep questions that you may have. Questions regarding love, relationships, money, or whatever else is on your mind. Come and check us out at spacedoutradio.com.
Every Saturday and Sunday night, as Dave Scott wanders aimlessly in the wilderness, you can come hang out with me, James Tyson, in Spaced Out Weekend. Starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, I'll take you along as we talk with some of the best experts in their fields. SpacedOutRadio.com is the place to find us. So sit down, relax, put your feet up. Enjoy the topics like the paranormal, supernatural, intuitiveness, and so much more. Hope to see you there.
Hi there, this is Elizabeth Anglin, and on the last Monday of every month, I join Dave Scott for Spaced Out Radio's Cosmic Passport. We delve into everything from extraterrestrial contact to animal communication. It's a lot of fun, and every month it's something different and exciting. I would love it if you would join us. You can hear and learn from my experiences, and I'd like to know about yours as well. Cosmic Passport on spacedoutradio.com.
Hey everybody, this is Patrick Webster Small, and I'm here to bring you the Webster Phenomena every Saturday night, live at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern. If you're looking for aliens and extraterrestrials, well, we've got them. Big and tall, short and small. You're bound to find what you're looking for, so join me on the Webster Phenomena right here on Spaced Out Radio.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry. Visit them today at purpleplates.com for mind, body, and spirit, and expect a miracle.
Have you ever wondered about those weird and strange creatures people have reported throughout history? Do you wonder if those stories are real? Me too, and that's why I started Cryptopia.us. Hey, this is Rob Morphy, crypto historian. Join me once a month on Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott, where we will get into the odd and bizarre reports, from the Dover demon to hairy hominids and everything in between. I will break down what people like you and me are seeing at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost?
Look no further than Spaced Out Radio.
SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click on to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on radio
or our website, including social media.
From commercial spots to banners, we have it all.
Check out our competitive pricing today.
Want to connect with us online? Find us on Facebook, Spaced Out Radio Show, on Twitter @SpacedOutRadio, on Instagram, Dave Scott, SOR, on YouTube, Spaced Out Radio Show, and our website is spacedoutradio.com. All right, space travelers, here comes the second half hour of Spaced Out Radio. And welcome back to Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for being with us. We welcome in everyone from SHR Media, Paranormal Into the Night, Paranormal Forum, and of course, our fans in the Spaced Out Radio chat room. Always a pleasure to have you with us. Tomorrow night on the show, Leslie Mitchell-Clark will be with us. We're going to talk light workers. What do they bring to the table? What do they bring to the world? What are they trying to accomplish? It's a little new age, I know, but we have to get back to it and see what light workers bring to us here and how they're helping. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so @SpacedOutRadio. Give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. On Instagram, I can be followed at Dave Scott, SOR. Our YouTube channel, you can subscribe to that. Just click the little red button, and then you get access to our archives for free. It's that simple. Spaced Out Radio Show. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. Sandee Mac is our guest tonight. We are doing past life regression healings using dowsing. It's very interesting indeed. Her website is designanewdestiny.com if you want to check out Sandee. What a lovely lady she is. And right before the break, we were talking with our guest tonight, Sandee, and our caller in, Kelly. Kelly has fear of water. She fears being near the ocean, which is kind of ironic considering she lives in Seattle. So I'm going to bring Kelly and Sandee back on. Ladies, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Dave. And we're just working through some situation that Kelly has, like you said, a little bit of fear of water, possible some social anxiety. And between my dowsing and her impressions, we're trying to kind of piece together this story of what may have happened as a young girl about 12 years old, possibly in Eastern Europe in the maybe about the 700s, quite a long time ago. Have you had any other thoughts come in at all, Kelly?
Say that again, please.
Have you had any other thoughts or ideas coming in? I could check briefly.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to suggest, because part of what you keep saying is that you feel like there was something that you got blamed for, and whether you actually did do something or you didn't do something, I'd like you to just, this is totally making it up in your mind now, because you're not seeing very clearly any impressions, is to imagine that you could step back in time to a young girl, like I said, around about 12 years old. Just in your mind, imagine you could explain to her that you're from the future, thank her for that lifetime. Imagine you could take her to some kind of a safe place, however you perceive that. Now, if this was something that there was some level of accountability for which she may have done something, you can ask her to stand accountable for that. And if it was something that was not caused by her, but she was judged by others or accused or persecuted perhaps by others for whatever occurred, you can tell her to give responsibility back to those people and let them stand accountable. And there may be a little element of both. And then I want you to imagine seeing her filled with white light and beginning to just release the cellular memory from some of that trauma. Whatever it is, you in this lifetime are more conscious, more responsible, and I'm assuming willing to take responsibility for your actions. So even if this was a karmic debt, it's probably been paid many times over. just visualize her being filled with light and just neutralizing some of those negative feelings, especially the sense of guilt and blame. Can you get a sense of that at all?
Thank you.
Now go to your body in present time, Kelly. Just as a grown, conscious woman you are now, and tell your body now to release the cellular memory from this trauma and release the cellular memory from any confused thinking. Good. And then imagine that young girl that you were then, just strong and healthy and peaceful and able to interact with others. If she needs some type of psychic shielding around her, you could do that. And imagine her with open heart and in a good way able to connect appropriately with others. Okay, how's that feel?
Thank you, Sandee.
Okay, great. Good luck.
Kelly, do you feel...
Okay.
Kelly, I got a question for you. Do you feel any different?
There's a tremendous block, my friend, and I apologize.
Oh, that's all right, my dear. You know what? This is maybe just the start of you starting to release. And what I would highly suggest is maybe get a hold of Sandee on her website, designanew.destiny.com, where she can have more time to work with you, because I think everyone has the power to just release and let it go, and I really think Sandee could give you a hand. But thank you so much for calling in.
Just contact me through my website, and we'll go from there, okay?
Blessings.
Great. Thank you, Kelly. Just remind me when you contact me that you are the one from the radio show. Okay, now we've got Corrine, is that right?
Yes, we do. I'm going to bring Corrine in. She's calling from Massachusetts. Corrine, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am great. Thank you very much.
Good. Corrine, do you have something that is going on with you, an issue, a challenge, a health concern, a fear, a phobia, something that you suspect there might be some past life ties with?
Yeah, Sandee, I have many, but I'll just try to narrow it down.
Narrow it down to like one or two.
Okay, so I have multiple sclerosis.
Okay.
And I also suffer for many years from panic attacks.
Okay. All right. And have you done altered state work before, or hypnosis, or regression, or meditation? Have done anything of that kind?
No, Sandee, no.
Nothing. And have you done some exploration with alternative healing with any of these issues?
Oh, yeah. I actually have a very good holistic doctor right now, and he's addressing the MS, and it seems to be going okay, very well. Not so much with the panic attacks.
Okay. Panic attacks can be related to any number of things. Let me just get my pendulum right quick, see what we've got here. Of these two, which is the priority, I'm getting the panic attacks. How long have you been having these, Corrine?
Oh my God.
Like weeks or years or?
20, at least 20 years.
Okay. And may I ask how old you are now?
No, you can't ask me, Cynthia.
Okay. I'll just guess you're 12 then.
I'm very old. I'm sorry. I'm in my 40s.
Okay, great. So it's probably a good half of your life. Okay. Okay, good. And do you notice anything else about the pattern of the panic attacks? Do you feel them coming on? Is there anything that seems to trigger them? Anything else you could tell me about them?
Well, I haven't tested myself recently, Sandee, or at all, recently, because when I'm alone, I used to get them when I was alone, no matter what, and then I stopped driving by myself, so I don't really drive by myself anymore or go anywhere by myself. So it's kind of been very limited my life a great deal.
So these were something that only occurred when you were by yourself. Is that my understanding?
Yeah.
Okay. And when you're with or around other people, they didn't occur.
That's right.
Is that correct? Okay. And when you say a panic attack, help me understand what you mean. Did you stop breathing? Did your heart start palpitating? Did you feel like you were passing out? What was?
Yeah,
give me a
all
couple
of
clues.
that. All of that.
Okay.
The classic panic attack where you feel like you can't get out of your body. You're trapped. You're threatened. You can't even think straight.
Okay, and there would be no way of knowing ahead of time this was going to happen. Do you have any warning?
No, except the fear that you have, of course, after having panic attacks for so long, is creeping up constantly. And, so, I mean, just that warning in that, if I'm alone in this place, this is going to happen.
Okay. So actually anxiety about the possibility of even having one.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I'm getting that there is some past life ties with that. And let me see what that is. So if you can just kind of tune in a little bit and just, again, try and trust any information, even if it feels like you're making it up, and even if it feels like, this is coming in from left field. Again, I'm getting that you're a female, and let me see about how old you were when this occurred. About 36 years old, so you're a grown woman, and this was quite recently, relatively speaking, about 170 years ago. So that would put us in the 1800s, right? 170 years ago. Let's see where this was. This was also in Europe, in Western Europe, okay? So it could have been Great Britain, England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland. Could have been France, Spain, Portugal. Okay, so somewhere in Western Europe. So just tune in the best you can and tell me, does it feel, or do you get a sense or an impression or a visual or even just a feeling in your body that you're indoors or outdoors, Corinne?
Outdoors.
Indoors or outdoors? Outdoors. Are you alone or with other people?
There's other people.
There's no other people?
No, there are other people.
Oh, there are other people. You're outdoor and you're other people. Are you in a city or town or village or out in the country?
It's kind of the country.
It's what?
Kind of the country.
In the country, okay. And how are you dressed? What are you wearing?
I have a long dress on. And I feel, honestly, I'm going to tell you, Sandee, I feel threatened by someone, and there's a war going on, and I feel threatened by a soldier.
You feel there's a war going on and what by a soldier?
I'm threatened by a soldier.
I heard by a soldier. I didn't hear the word was by a soldier.
She feels threatened by a soldier.
Oh, threatened by a soldier. Okay. All right. Float up above your body, Corinne, and move forward a little bit in time and tell me what happens. Does he carry through with the threat? Is he threatening you verbally or with a weapon, or what's going on?
I think he's going to rape me.
Okay.
I think, yeah.
Okay. And it's just one, not a group.
Right.
Okay. Float up out of your body and move forward in time a little bit, maybe a few hours, and see what's going on there.
Okay.
I don't need you to experience anything traumatic at all.
Right.
You can stay detached.
Well, I feel a couple hours from that time, I feel that I don't feel good. I feel like gross, like dirty or something. I don't feel good.
Okay, like you may have been violated.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And this is some kind of a war, some kind of a battle situation or something.
Yeah, like there was an occupation, I want to say. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So you weren't killed. Does anyone come to help or assist you?
No.
Okay.
I don't say anything about it, Sandee.
Oh, okay. You keep it inside. Okay. Just move forward briefly. Let's say about 6 months or so. Are you still around in the same area? And is it still something that you kept inside?
Yes. I'm still in the same area, and I've never told anyone.
Okay, but you still have a lot of trauma, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want you to imagine, Corrine, that you could step back in time. The conscious adult, grown woman that you are now, step back in time to the young woman that you were then. Explain to her that you are from the future. Thank her for that lifetime. I want you to imagine that magically you could take her out of that scene to a safe place. Safe place. Could be anywhere you imagine. Could be here, could be Hawaii, I don't care. And imagine that you start filling her up with white light, white or golden light.
Okay.
And as that white light comes in, it begins to heal some of these things that have gone on with her. And I want you to imagine that you tell her in your mind to give responsibility back to this person that violated her. Let them stand accountable. Let them carry the consequences. Let them carry the karma. And I want you to tell her to take back her dignity, if appropriate, her innocence, her own destiny. And to let them carry the fear and the trauma. Okay, good, good. Keep pouring that white light in her.
Okay.
And tell me, how's she doing now?
She's better. She's stronger.
I want her wonderful. Maybe you see angels around her. Maybe you visualize light around her. Maybe you see her with some kind of protective shield.
Okay.
Great. Now I want you to tell her in your mind to release the cellular memory from this trauma and to release the cellular memory from any confused thinking. And by confused thinking, she may have had an idea, oh, it was my fault, or I was in the wrong place at the wrong time, or somehow I caused it, or I didn't stand up for myself, or there's something wrong with me. It could be anything.
Okay.
Great. Now I want you to go to your body now, the woman you are now, and tell your body the same thing. To release the cellular memory from this trauma. And release the cellular memory from any confused thinking. Now I'm also going to just do a little bit of releasing here with some trauma of trapped emotions that may have occurred back in that lifetime with the woman that you were there. It's going to do this a little bit from a distance here, and you'll be able to resonate if some of these emotions related. The first one is panic. Just going to imagine that we're releasing that panic. Okay. See anything else? Yes.
Okay.
Shame. She had some shame.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see anything else? Yes. Unworthy. Releasing the feeling, the emotion of feeling unworthy. Good. Okay, now, how's she doing?
She's good.
And how's Corinne doing?
I think I hate to speak before I can actually test it out, Sandee.
Sure.
But I did feel that it's okay. It's okay.
Would that be all right if it's okay?
Yeah.
Great. I suspect this may tie in a little bit with MS. And I'll tell you why. Because, first of all, everything's always connected and related. And often things like this are metaphorical. And also, MS is often misdiagnosed. But one of the key elements about MS is about issues around control. And if this was a violation that occurred to you in another life over which you had seemingly no control and never got resolution in that time, that could be an issue with you now in this time. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally makes sense.
Okay. All right. Great. So, again, I invite you to contact me if you want to, and you can do that through my website. If you want to do a little bit more work with this, let me see if there's anything else that relates to the panic attack specifically. I think that was one of the key lifetimes related to that. So I'd love to hear back from you about how that's doing, and be brave enough to test it out on your own, if you will.
I'm going to really try, Sandee, and I so much appreciate your time and your talent. Thank you so much.
Okay, and I think there's more that can be done with that MS, but just take a look at the issues around control, and where is it that you feel that you can or can't control things around you or with you or within you, and that's the key to unlocking anything else around this stuff.
Right.
Okay, Dave, who else you got
Awesome.
lined up there?
Well, we are almost at a break, and Corinne, I have a question for you if you don't mind.
Okay.
When you're going through this process and she is regressing you to what you're seeing, what exactly are you seeing in your head?
I'm seeing a picture of something I haven't thought about. I mean, that war situation, I've never thought about that before. You know what I mean? I've never thought about being threatened by a man. I wouldn't even
popped into your head.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. But I knew it. Like, Sandee, it's like when you asked me to look and you said, what comes, and that's what came into my mind. I'm this girl and I'm taken advantage of by someone in authority. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I fully understand with what you're saying. Did you feel her emotions? Did you feel her pain? Or did you just sense it?
I felt it. I felt like I was the girl that was violated. I could feel that.
And what I did, Dave, just for clarity for you and your listeners, is I suspected that she would be able to feel it very, very vividly. So I specifically tried to create a displacement, asking her to float up out of her body, because it's not my intention for anybody to be re-traumatized. So I created the disassociation from the body then. and moved her forward in time so she didn't have to experience the actual violation.
I actually heard you say that when you told her, okay, you didn't want her picturing the grotesque act that was happening, and you moved her right away from that. I thought that was a very powerful statement.
Well, it depends on how I perceive that the person is receiving the information. If they were sitting in my office, I would be able to read their nonverbal signals and those kinds of things. But just from her languaging, etc., I suspected she was somebody who could literally re-experience it, and I didn't see any need for that.
Excellent. We are talking with Sandee Mac tonight on Spaced Out Radio. She is helping you call in, and you can get a regression healing from her. She's going to take you back, doing a little bit of dowsing, and figure out maybe what is causing your pain, your anxiety, your depression, whatever you may be suffering from over the last number of years. Give us a call in, 1-702-302-4556. We are going to head out for a break here at the top of the hour. When we come back, more of Sandee Mac, her website, designanew-destiny.com. Check it out today.
Greetings and salutations, space travelers, from the Chronicles of the Unknown team.
What is Chronicles of the Unknown? I keep hearing about this thing.
It's a new paranormal reality TV show based right here in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Follow our team as we uncover claims of activity on the Caribou Gold Rush Trail. You can also follow us here every third Monday, where 2 members of our team will be available to answer your questions. We'll give you some equipment updates and some of our experiences on the road, right here on Spaced Out Radio on the Spreaker.com network.
Do you believe you've been in contact with extraterrestrials? Have you seen the Greys, the Mantids, or the Reptilians? I am Samantha Mullet, and on the second Tuesday of each month, you can listen and learn from my experiences with off-worlders on Spaced Out Radio's The ET Experience. With host Dave Scott, we'll sit down and chat about what's going on with our friends from other worlds. We'll also try to answer your questions, so please tune in on the second Tuesday of the month, only on Spaced Out Radio.
Are you interested in advertising on Spaced Out Radio? Head to our website at spacedoutradio.com and click on our advertising tab. There, you will find an assortment of ways you can get your product out there with us, from radio commercials to banners and social media. Have a product you like our hosts to endorse? We can do that too. Visit spacedoutradio.com for more details.
Did you know that Spaced Out Radio runs 7 days a week? Hi, it's James Tyson from Spaced Out Weekend. Every Saturday and Sunday night, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, you can join me and my guests for some great chatter about what's going on out in the universe, or even in that dark part of the basement you really don't want to go back into. Well, let's find the answers to your experiences together. So come on up to Uncle Jimbo's cabin on the weekend. For more information, look us up at spacedoutradio.com.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Attention Spaced Out Radio listeners. For only $5 a month, you can join Spaced Out Radio Space Travelers. Your membership at spacedoutradio.com will give you access to private fan area on the website, get you a monthly newsletter, draws for monthly swag, and a whole lot more. Sign up today to become a part of the Spaced Out Radio experience.
Right here, this is where we divulge the fruit of our research. Here on the Webster Phenomena every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern on Spaced Out Radio. And we give it up to you guys, all the listeners, and the live listeners usually get something special. hang out in the chat room, and we love to have you. So we'll see you every Saturday night at 8 p.m. You know where.
If you're a fan of social media, you can follow Spaced Out Radio on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. You can also follow us on Instagram, Dave Scott, SOR. Our YouTube channel, where our archives are stored, is Spaced Out Radio Show. And of course, our website is spacedoutradio.com. Welcome back to Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Thank you so much for tuning in to us at Spaced Out Radio on the SHR Media Network as well. Really appreciate that. Thank you to everyone listening in at Paranormal Into the Night, Paranormal Forum, and of course, our Spaced Out Radio chat room. Tonight we are talking with Sandee Mac, and we're going to bring her on momentarily. Her website, designanewdestiny.com. And what we're doing tonight is live healing. So I want you to call in 1-702-302-4556 is the call-in number. 1-702-302-4556. Once again. Now, Sandee is not a psychic. She is not a medium. What she uses is regression therapy and dowsing in order to make it happen. Before we bring Sandee back on, I do want to remind you, tomorrow night on the show, Leslie Mitchell-Clark will join us. We're going to talk light workers, how they are trying to make the world a little bit better. If you want to follow us on social media, you can do so at Spaced Out Radio. Give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. On Instagram, I can be followed at Dave Scott, SOR. Our YouTube channel is Spaced Out Radio Show. Subscribe to that, and you can get access to all of our archive shows. And our website is spacedoutradio.com. We bring Sandee Mac back into Spaced Out Radio land now. Sandee, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Dave. I really appreciate that.
While we're waiting for our next caller, I got a few questions that I would like to ask you.
Sure.
Our first caller, Kelly, she was very blocked, and she seemed very nervous. She seemed to have trouble picking things up. And then we have a polar opposite in Corrine, who was able to picture everything at the snap of a finger. What is the difference between those types of callers?
You said it exactly. It runs the entire spectrum. And people will have a tendency to feel that the way they receive or not receive information is the way everybody receives it, and it's absolutely not correct. So we've had the whole gamut there. So some people get very clear impressions to the point where you have to be careful that they don't really experience any trauma, and some people feel that they're not getting any information very valid at all. So it just runs the whole spectrum. People receive information in different ways, Dave. Some people see pictures as if they were watching the slides or movie or dreamy, floaty images. Some people hear the information as if someone was whispering in their ear or they could hear it with their internal voice. Some people get no pictures, but they just have feelings like, I feel like I'm out in the country. Or some even get smells and tastes, like I can smell the venison cooking on the fire, I could smell the smoke, or that type of thing. And some people get no pictures at all, but they just have a knowing. So people receive information in different ways. Really the key is to trust the information, because especially the first time or so, often people will feel like they're making it up. Oh, I'm not going to say that because I'm just making it up. But it doesn't matter, because I'm double-checking with a pendulum or whatever else is. And remember, where our goal is not to go back historically and prove that this occurred. Our goal is to help eliminate some kind of trauma or situation or symptomology that they've been struggling with, in some cases for a very, very long time. So if it helps them, that's my goal. Let's say someone's afraid of water, and we found a past life where they drowned, and we clear that up and they're not afraid of water anymore. To me, it doesn't matter if it was real or not. It probably was valid at some level, but I'm not here to prove the historical accuracy of their experience.
I have a couple questions from our listeners. This one comes from Gail in Paranormal Into the Night. And Gail is saying, Sandee, since we can't see what you were doing, could you describe what you were doing while you were dowsing?
Absolutely. I'm not sure if she's familiar with dowsing. I think in Canada, some parts of Canada, they call it questing. They may also call it water witching. So witching for water is the way that some people would think of dowsing, that someone would take what we call a pair of dowsing rods or even like a forked stick and go to look for where the well driller would drill for water. So it's a very, very ancient system, technique, skill, whatever you want to call it. Well, there are other dowsing instruments. Amongst them is a thing called a pendulum, which is basically a weight on the end of a string or a chain. It could be as simple as a rock tied to a string or a bolt or something like that, or it could be a crystal or something else. So I'm using a pendulum, and I'm asking in a yes-no answer a question. I perceive it's like a readout device, and the pendulum will swing one way or swing the other way. So I'm kind of asking my higher self to ask the universe, or perhaps my higher self is connecting with Corinne's higher self, or we could just say we're asking God or the Akashic Records, or however you perceive that, and accessing information that way. I hope that answers it.
And Corey in the Space Out Radio chat room is asking, Sandee, do we all feel maybe we have had something like this happen to us? That's just listening, that's just us listening and breathing and letting go while you do your regressions? Will that tell us that we are listening too? Can we be healed by that?
Again, Corey, it just runs the entire gamut. For some people, it's a very simple procedure. For some people, there's several lifetimes that need to be cleared, and some people just hearing about it, some people need to experience it more directly. So it does run the gamut. That's all I can say. It's a whole spectrum of things.
Sandee, we do have a phone call here, area code 805. Your name, please, and where are you calling from?
Lisa, calling from Mesa, Arizona.
Hi, Lisa. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. But the phone number's from California, but it's my cell phone.
Well, there you go. And
she's calling from where? Mesa, Arizona?
Yeah, Mesa, Arizona. Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Phoenix area. Okay.
Phoenix area. Yep.
Okay, Lisa. How can we help you? Do you have some kind of?
Gosh, I don't even know where to start.
Well, start in the middle, honey, and go to the edge.
I'm just a bundle of issues. Everything you can think of. I've had cancer. I have arthritis.
Give me a couple of things, and let me see if there's something that we could do a little bit of quick work on.
Well, depression is my main one, and
okay.
not wanting to carry on, and I have chronic pain, taking pain meds every day.
Where's the chronic
everywhere. I have fibromyalgia. I've had many surgeries, reconstructive surgeries because of breast cancer. I've had, I can't even name how many surgeries. So I've had shoulder surgeries because some of the antibiotics I was on messed up my joints and my tendons and stuff. I was on fluoroquinolones, Cipro, that one, for like 18 months. So I guess those are the main things.
Okay. Lisa, may I ask how old you are, dear?
I'm 58.
58, okay. All right, let me just check and see if there's something. What I can tell you is that depression is often related to some interference that may be coming in from what we call discarnate entities. Do you know what I'm speaking of when I say that?
What kind of entities?
Discarnate, dead people, spirits.
Right. Yes, I do know what you mean, yes.
Right. So what happens when people take drugs, and I'm not just talking about street drugs, I'm talking about antibiotics and antidepressants and all the rest of that sort of thing. It puts the pharmaceuticals basically put holes in the person's aura or energy field. So if people could see clairvoyantly, they see it looks kind of like Swiss cheese with all holes in it. And what can happen is that whatever level we might be vibrating at, even if it's just for a very short time, then an entity or a discarnate spirit that matches that vibratory frequency can align with us and kind of come into our energy field or our aura through those holes. And sometimes they sort of take up residence there or hang out for a while. So even though we're starting to try to feel better, we're still picking up on their energy. So if we were angry, we get angry ones. If we're jealous, if we're scared or fearful or anxiety, then we can pick up those kind of energies. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
And so it can make actually almost a vicious circle because we're trying to feel better, but we've got these sort of little cling-along things or discarnates hanging out in our energy field. And that's often a key piece about depression, especially, you mentioned like you didn't want to be here. If people have a tendency toward suicidal thoughts or things like that, it's not necessarily that they want to not be here. They just don't want to be here in the circumstances or the pain or the challenges that they've been experiencing. So the depression then leaves them more open for interfering energies. Okay, so that's just a little aside on that. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So much.
Okay. I'm actually going to do a little just quick release with that for just a moment for you. And then I want to check and see what we could do. Fibromyalgia. Okay, fibromyalgia is considered an autoimmune disorder. Is that right?
A what disorder?
Autoimmune.
Oh, that's what I've heard. But you know what? One of my doctors told me that I have a complex pain syndrome. So it's not just fibromyalgia. I don't even know if it's really fibromyalgia, but it's just a whole bunch of things adding all together to cause pain everywhere. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, I don't know if it's not autoimmune or not.
Okay. Autoimmune. Okay. According to some research, autoimmune disorders are often related to a conflict over a person's identity. Now, it doesn't mean you don't know what your name is, but it's kind of like, well, who am I? Where do I fit in? Where do I belong? What am I about? Does that make sense?
Totally.
Okay. So I just worked on a gal 2 days ago that had been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, and we did some real, very fortunate to have some real remarkable work happen. And it tracked back to a lifetime, actually, in World War II in Nazi Germany. Not that this woman was in the camps, but that she was a bright and very favorably looking, blonde, blue-eyed Aryan boy who was very favored, but actually could see the starvation and some of the other horrendous things that were going on around, then came into this life with a lot of guilt about that, with a very weak immune system, whose mother always told her, be sure and marry a rich man because he'll be able to take care of you because you'll never be able to take care of yourself. And
wow.
This woman was a Scorpio, and she just didn't know she was actually a strong, powerful person. So by the time we were done, she was actually almost completely pain-free, and I saw her 2 days later, and she was still had extreme minimal amount of pain compared to what she was.
Awesome.
But she was on meds, so we were reducing that. But let me just take a quick
question before you go on. I have a question for you.
Yes.
Is it possible for someone to not have had a previous life? Like, could this possibly be a person's first life?
Yes, it's possible.
That was a question I had before I even started. I just wanted to throw that out there.
It's probably not likely unless they're, this is a little advanced, unless they're kind of coming in from sometimes some other star systems and galaxies and things. There's a lot of real special people right now being born, but they've had perhaps lifetimes or existences in other star systems or galaxies or dimensions or something. But I would suggest if this was a brand new soul that had never been on the earth, they would probably not be born into a sophisticated society like we have in this country.
Mm.
They would probably be born in a more primitive situation.
Right. That makes sense.
Does that make sense? Okay.
Yes.
Let me just take a look at this fibromyalgia or chronic pain. Now, let me just see if there's a quick past life that we could take a look at briefly. And I'm getting yes. There's actually about 3 lives that need to be cleared with that. But let's just take a quick look at a priority one here. And I'm going to let you sort of tune in, and I'm going to just give you some guidelines of what I'm getting. And this is the one in which you were male. Let me see how old you were. Quite young, about 3 years old. A little boy, a little toddler, about 3 years old. I'm sorry?
When I died, I was 3?
No, I didn't say you died. I just said when this, whatever occurred at about 3 years old.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see how long ago this was. This was quite recently as well. About 80 years ago, okay? So this may have been one of your most previous lifetimes, okay? I mean, one of your most recent lifetimes. Does that make sense?
Yes,
so 80 years ago would put it in the early 1900s. And this was in North America. Let me see where this was at. More the eastern half of the United States, more southeastern. So who knows, that could have been Virginia or Florida or Georgia or, anywhere around there, southeast part of the country. Okay. So I want you to imagine just closing your eyes, go inside, and tune in, and tell me, Lisa, does it feel like you're just a little boy, you're about 3 years old, it's in the early 1900s, does it feel like you're indoors or does it feel like you're outdoors?
I want to say outdoors.
Okay. Does it feel like you're with other people or you're alone by yourself?
It feels like I'm lost.
Like you're lost, okay. Lost in a city or town or in the country?
I think it's the country.
Okay. Is it open area or is it like wooded or swampy or something?
I see rolling trees or hills, rolling hills.
Okay.
And a lot of open expanse.
Have you been lost very long, like a few minutes or a day or so?
Not too long, but long enough to be panicky.
Okay. And how did that happen? Were you with your family or did you wander away or what happened?
I think that's what happened. That's what happened.
You think what happened?
I wandered away or...
Wandered away.
I think that's what happened.
Okay. Move forward a little bit and see what happens. See what's going on.
Well, there's like a brook and some water, and I kind of just was exhausted and kind of just laid down, and that's all I can remember.
Okay. You laid down near the water?
Yeah.
Okay. To just get some sleep or rest or something?
Yeah, I was exhausted because I was, panicking and trying to figure out where to go, and I don't really understand it. I don't understand how it can seem like such a wide expanse, and then there's nobody around.
Okay, so just move forward a little bit later, maybe a few hours later, and see did help come? Did something else happen to him? What else are you getting there?
Well, the sun is shining, so I made it look like over through the night, but I'm just sort of sitting there, and I just don't know what to do, so...
Okay.
I can't see anything else.
And the outcome is, maybe move forward a day or so later, did they find you, or did something else happen?
I don't think that they ever found me.
Okay, float up out of your body then, Lisa, and tell me what happened to the little boy.
I think I died from exposure.
He died of exposure, okay. All right. So I want you to imagine that you could step back in time, the conscious woman that you are now, imagine that just sort of magically you could take him out of that scene to a safe place where there's helpful, nurturing, loving people around him.
Okay.
With some good food and warm blankets and things like that, and start imagining white light running through him. White light, golden light, divine light, God's light, however you want to perceive that. Explaining to him that you're from the future.
Okay.
Great. Great. Good, good. And just keep seeing that light actually healing him a little bit. Wonderful. When you see him strong and healthy,
okay,
I want you to tell him to release the cellular memory from all that trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And release the cellular memory from any confused thinking. Good. Now, I'm also going to release a couple of limiting or trapped emotions that he may have had. Is that okay?
Sure.
Because he had some panic. We're just going to do a little releasing with some of that panic. So just imagine that little boy just letting go of that panic. Good, because he got scared. Good. And the next one is terror. Actually, he had some terror. Let me see if there's anything else. Yes. Indecisiveness. He just didn't know where to go or what to do or how to resolve his situation. So releasing that emotion, see if there's anything else important that we can be clear with. No, that's good. Now, how's he doing?
The boy?
Yeah, the little boy you were. How's he doing?
He just went on to, up to God.
Okay. And can you see him, imagine him going like up into spirit?
Something like that, yeah. It's kind of hard to explain.
But more peaceful.
Yeah.
More peaceful, so not panicked or scared or in
No,
pain.
not anymore. Mm-hmm.
Okay, excellent. Now go to your body in present time as Lisa and tell your body to release the cellular memory from this trauma. There you go. And release the cellular memory from any confused thinking. Good. Okay. How does that feel in your body now?
Better than it was before. I
Is there
have an
any
issue
change?
with that.
I'm sorry?
I have an issue with that, being confused and not knowing what to do and just, yeah.
Right, sort of stuck in those emotional things.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any change in the level of your pain or discomfort?
It seems better. I just feel sad and I want to cry, but I don't feel as panicky or fearful.
Okay. And what's the sadness about him?
I don't know.
Is it about the little boy?
It could be, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Let me just clear that out a little bit if that's okay.
Got it.
See what that's going on here. Yes, there is something else here. Taken for granted. feeling of being taken for granted. Does that resonate for you at all?
Yep.
Okay, so just imagine breathing that out and letting that emotion go. And the feeling also of being unsupported. Does that resonate?
Mm-hmm.
Just breathe that out in a breath or two. Good. Now check and see. How does that feel?
Better.
Better?
Mm-hmm.
Good. If you could give that pain or discomfort a rating on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you say it is now? Where would you say it was before we began?
Well, right now it's probably about a 4, and it was like
about a 4. And before we started, where was it at?
It was about an 8.
An 8. So it's reduced at least 50%.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Remember I said there were 2 or 3 other lines that need to be cleared, but this is an example, Dave, of how really in a short period of time, less than 10 minutes, that you can go in and using some past life work and some other modalities actually make a significant difference with that person. Again, Lisa, I'd invite you to connect with me if you'd like through my website, and I'll be glad to do a little bit more follow-up with you and see if we can get some more resolution if you'd like.
Thank you.
And I'm actually from northern Arizona, so I live up in the White Mountains, so who knows, we might cross paths here.
All right, thank you so much.
That
You're
was
welcome.
amazing. Thank you,
Dave,
Lisa. I
might want
appreciate you calling in.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
That was pretty intense, that call with Lisa.
Yeah, a little kid got lost and died of exposure, yeah. But if her pain reduced by 50%, you know, I don't know if it's true or not that a little kid got lost, but if she feels 50% better and she's had these issues, she said she couldn't even begin to count them, depression, chronic pain, fibromyalgia, multiple surgeries for years, you know.
Right.
If she feels better, what difference does it make?
Sandee, we have another call here, but I'm going to go to a break quickly here as we are at the bottom of the hour. We have 1/2 hour left with Sandee Mac here on Spaced Out Radio. Her website, designanew.destiny.com. I highly suggest you check it out because what she does is she takes you back to heal your future. It's an amazing, amazing experience, as we have heard tonight. You're listening to Spaced Out Radio. I am your host, Dave Scott. We'll be back after this break.
Have you ever had an extraterrestrial experience? One you just couldn't explain? Well, maybe I can help. Hello, I am Samantha Mullet. On the second Tuesday of each month, I will join Dave Scott on Spaced Out Radio to bring a human aspect to ET contact. It's something I've lived with my entire life, and I'd love to help you understand. Let's share our experiences. The ET Experience, the second Tuesday of each month, only on Spaced Out Radio.
Fairies, Bigfoot, dogmen, trolls, goblins? Hey, if it's cryptid in any way, I'm looking into it. Hi there, this is author Ronald Murphy, also known as Spaced Out Radio's Crypto Guru. Join me every second Wednesday of the month on Spaced Out Radio with Dave Scott, where we will talk about the stories people call tall tales. I will fill you in on the latest sightings and the hidden histories that are causing quite a stir. You can find everything at spacedoutradio.com.
Hi there, this is Jolene with Rivulet Reiki and Readings, and I want you to relax. Let me help you chill out and get in touch with your body, mind, and soul. In this busy world, sometimes we need to let go, and this is where I can help. Visit my website, rivuletrndr.wix.com/rivuletrndr, or my Facebook page, Rivulet R&R, to set up an appointment for relaxation, Reiki, or readings, no matter where you are. It's time for you to make time for you.
Would you like to expand your clientele? Have you ever thought of online radio advertising? Check out spacedoutradio.com to get your name out there. Our listeners support those who advertise with us, so why not give it a try? We have the most competitive advertising prices out there. Just click on the advertising tab on spacedoutradio.com and contact us today.
Are you an ET experiencer, but you just don't know what's going on? Are you too timid or shy to discuss it with anyone? Maybe I can help. Join me, R. Keith Andrews, the first Friday of every month on Spaced Out Radio, and I will help you to find the answers you're looking for. Together, I will help you understand the off-worlders and the true meanings behind your experiences. All you have to do is join us in the Spaced Out Radio chat room. See you there.
Every Saturday and Sunday night as Dave Scott wanders aimlessly in the wilderness. You can come hang out with me, James Tyson, in Spaced Out Weekend. We're starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. I'll take you along as we talk with some of the best experts in their fields. SpacedOutRadio.com is the place to find us. So sit down, relax, put your feet up. Enjoy the topics like the paranormal, supernatural, intuitiveness, and so much more. Hope to see you there.
Hi there, this is your psychic medium Joanna, and I would love it if you would join us every other Sunday on Spaced Out Weekend. With host James Tyson, we'll bring you personal psychic messages on two mediums and a large. Questions about love, life, career changes. We would love it if you would come and join us live. Call in and listen in for the experience. Allow us to open the doors to your other side. Two mediums and a large, heard only on Spaced Out Weekend at spacedoutradio.com.
Would you like to become one of our space travelers? All you have to do is click on the Space Travelers icon at spacedoutradio.com. For only $5 a month, you can get access to some great prizes, as well as private monthly shows, newsletters, and a members-only section on our website. Become a space traveler today.
Do you have a topic or a guest that you'd like to hear on Spaced Out Radio? Let us know at spacedoutradio.com, where you can sign up to become a Space Traveler member today. Or you can find us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio and on our Facebook page, Spaced Out Radio Show. Welcome back to Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Always a pleasure to have you in, and we bring in SHR Media once again. Thank you for following us, along with those in Paranormal Into the Night, Paranormal Forum, and the Spaced Out Radio chat room. What a great night with Sandee Mac. We'll get to her momentarily for the final half hour with her before we open up the lines to you in the third hour. Tomorrow night on the show, Leslie Mitchell-Clark will be with us. We're going to talk light workers. What are they doing to help society in general? It is fantastic. We'll get to that tomorrow night. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at Spaced Out Radio. Give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. On Instagram, I can be followed at Dave Scott, S-O-R. On Instagram, I just said that, Instagram, Dave Scott, S-O-R. On YouTube, you can follow our archives at Spaced Out Radio Show. Just click the little subscribe button to listen to those. And, of course, our website is spacedoutradio.com. We bring in Sandee Mac for the final time tonight. Sandee is a regressive therapist. She heals people by dowsing. It's the most incredible thing. We've had some incredible experiences with the three callers we've had so far. We're going to go back to the phone lines here momentarily as we have one caller waiting. Sandee, every story is so different that you hear from people in regards to their experiences, whether it's childhood, whether it's adulthood. Does it still amaze you after all the years you've been doing this that the stories are still so fresh in people's minds?
You know, you're exactly right, Dave. I am so fortunate to be able to do this work. I never get bored. I am completely and always amazed at the experiences that people have had, the past lives that they've had, how that relates to the current circumstances, and the fact that they're all tied together, and that we can sometimes unravel these mysteries, unweave these tapestries, and help the people have their life be more workable. Yes, the range has been the gamut, and I never get bored.
I can see that this is a life passion for you, and it is something that you never get bored with, as you were saying. Is it something that you ever see yourself retiring from one day in the future, or is this just something that you're going to do?
I can't imagine retiring. I can't imagine retiring. I mean, maybe if my voice gets so old and feeble or something like that, but, you know, even if I were to lose my eyesight, which I'm not planning on doing, I'd still be able to do this.
Wonderful. Let's go back to the phone lines here on Spaced Out Radio. Joe, we bring you in from New York. How are you doing?
Good, Dave. How are you?
I am very good. Thank you for calling in. You got a question and some health issues for Sandee that you want to talk about?
Sure, yeah. I've been dealing with chronic... Oh, first of all, hello, Sandee. How are you? Hope
I'm
you're doing
great,
well.
Joe. Thank you so much for calling in. And
Yes,
you're calling
I
from the New York City area, right?
That's right, New York City. That's right. And I've been dealing with chronic pain condition now for about 8 years. It's called RSD-CRPS, which is reflex sympathetic dystrophy, also known as chronic regional pain syndrome. And been dealing with that for 8 years. And the first 2 years were really bad. And then I sort of got out of that. I sort of had my enlightenment, and then the pain levels started going lower. With it for me.
Okay, so is the pain throughout your whole body?
The pain is actually in my left foot, left ankle, left calf.
Okay. The left side of your body. And is it like a stabbing or a burning or an aching, or how could you describe the pain a little more?
The pain is a burning pain as well as a stabbing pain and a pins and needles pain.
Burning and stabbing, okay. Okay, let's see if there's any past life connection with this. Let's see. We got permission. Let me see if there is any past life, and I'm getting yes. How many lifetimes are directly related to this, the symptomology that Joe's been experiencing now? There's about 3 lifetimes that at some point need to be cleared, but we'll see if we can focus on a primary one at this point in time. So I'm going to give you the guidelines, so to speak, and if you'll just sort of tune in a little bit. Joe, just trust anything you're getting, even if it feels like you're making it up. So let me see. You're a male in this other lifetime, and let's see what I can get. A young boy, about 12 years old. Let's see how long ago this was. About 300 years ago. That would put it in the 1700s, more or less. We don't get the exact date, but you could if you needed to, but we just like to have a little kind of point of reference in history. 300 years ago, and where was this at? This was also in Europe. More Central Europe, so that could have been Germany, Austria, Switzerland, Italy, France perhaps, somewhere in Central Europe. So just tune in a little bit, close your eyes, go inside, and tell me, does it feel like you're indoors? Does it feel like you're outdoors? What's your sense there, Joe?
I'm outdoors.
Alone or with other people?
Other people are around me.
Okay. And does it feel like you're in a village or town or out in the country?
I'm in a city. Looks like I'm in
You're
a city.
in a city, okay. And you're a young boy. How are you dressed? Are you well dressed? Are you more middle class? Are you a street kid? What's going on?
Looks like I'm dressed in. I'm not rich, I'll tell you that much. But I look like I'm middle class
Okay.
dress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not dressed in rags or anything. And do you live nearby there? Your house or home? What's that like?
I think I'm about 10 miles from my home.
Okay. And do you live with your family, parents, siblings, perhaps?
I live with my family. Family. The whole family.
Okay.
Mother, father, and siblings.
Okay. And how is it that you spend your time? Do you go to school? Do you have chores or work that you do? How do you spend your time?
Well, it looks like I'm playing hooky right now.
Oh, okay.
It looks like I'm it looks like I'm just playing hooky and just walking around. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
But perhaps you were supposed to be in school or some kind of...
Yeah, I think I was supposed to be in school, yeah.
All right. Okay,
it was afternoon. Yeah.
Move forward a little bit in time. in that lifetime there. Just move forward a little bit in time. Let's see what's happening there. What's going on? Might even be a few days later. What's going on there?
A few days later. Looks like I'm pretty close to my school, actually, this time.
Okay.
But I'm outside the school, and I'm more towards the front door of the school, and it looks like I'm sitting on the steps, or sitting on the steps, and looks like I'm crying or weeping.
Okay. And what's that about? Has there been some loss, or what's happening?
Oh, it looks like there's students coming around me. Oh, they're bullying me. That's what it is.
Oh,
they're bullying me.
They're bullying you or picking on you, huh?
Yeah.
And what is that about? Why would they be picking on you? Why would they be bullying you?
I want to ask, but they don't listen to me. And I get up, and I point at them, and I basically say, go away. And then one of them hits me.
Okay.
In the front of the school. No teachers around.
Okay.
And I'm down and I'm bleeding.
Okay.
From the face. And I basically say to them, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And they said, we just feel like, it looks like they're not answering. They're just standing there, but they're giving me this look like, they just want to hurt me or something.
Yeah.
They're giving me this mad look. Does
it feel like this happens more than once, or is this just a one-time deal?
No, this happened more than once, definitely. And the same kids
okay,
too.
So you were kind of picked on or bullied. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. All right. Anything else there that seems significant? Moving forward in time a little bit. Anything else that seems particularly significant? Do you get seriously hurt?
Well, there's nobody else around. It seems like everybody is in class, and it's sort of a gloomy day the next couple of days. So it looks like it's a gloomy day, and it looks like it's going to rain.
Okay.
And then there's a couple of trees out in the field, because there's a big field. It looks like a campus almost, the school. So there's a couple of trees, couple of big trees.
Okay. So I want to I'm just going to kind of zero in the interest of time a little bit here. And were there any lasting effects from this kind of picking on you, beating you up thing? Was this an ongoing pattern?
Yeah, well, I feel like it looks like I'm dejected. I get up, I go, I walk into the school. It's like I'm walking into the hallway area, more towards the bathroom area, I guess to wipe the blood off of my lip. And I think I'm going to the bathroom. Yeah, I'm in the bathroom right now, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror saying, why me, why me? And I have like a paper towel in my hand, and
All right, good. Okay, so let's just kind of inject here for a moment, and I think that this happened more than once. Does that seem to resonate?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This was a maybe more frequent thing that happened, and my suspicion is that maybe each time it got worse, and you just felt a little more helpless, a little more limited in your resources for whatever reason that they were picking on you. Do you have a sense that it was there anything? Does it feel like you were handicapped? Were they picking on you because of your ethnic or religious or nationality or anything, or were you just a skinny, puny little kid, or why were they picking on you? Just because they could?
I think just because they could, because I'm like I know I am a shy person, so in being a shy person, I think they were picking on me because I was a little scrawny kid in the back of the classroom, because I usually sit in the back of the class, closest to the door, so I could escape and get out quickly,
Got it.
So, yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. But you didn't really have the resources or you weren't like the Incredible Hulk that you could beat yourself up.
That's
so,
right.
Joe, what I want you to do is imagine that you could, the man you are now, that you could step back in time to that young lad that you were then and take him out of there to a safe place. Start filling him up with a lot of white light. Maybe see some healthy, nurturing people around him. In your mind, I want you to tell him to give responsibility for what happened back to the people that were doing it, the perpetrators, the people that were victimizing him. Imagine giving them responsibility back. Let them stand accountable for what occurred. Keep filling him with white light. Tell him to release the cellular memory from the trauma. See him starting to get healthier and healthier and getting back his self-esteem, his self-confidence. And tell him to release the cellular memory from any confused thinking. Okay, and I want to release a couple of emotions that he may have had as well. The first one is shame. Just imagine that he's releasing that shame. Maybe shame about whatever, but maybe even shame that he couldn't stand up for himself or retaliate or something like that. Does that make sense? Just releasing that emotion of shame. And the next one is helplessness, the feeling of helplessness. And some of this may have even related when you were younger in this lifetime. Okay, letting go of that. See if there's anything else. Grief. There's some grief that he had. Just releasing that grief and bringing that white light in. Okay, good. How's he looking now? How's he doing now?
He's looking a lot better now. He looks
All
happier.
right, I want you to see him strong and healthy and clear. Like he's got his mojo back. He's got his self-confidence back. He's self-assured. He doesn't bully himself, but he's just strong and confident, and he exudes that energy. And then tell your own body now in present time to release the cellular memory from the trauma and from any confused thinking. Okay, great. Now, Joe, just give us a little bit of input for a moment. How does that feel in your body now? Is there any shifting of the pain? Anything that you notice differently?
Yeah, 0.2 came off of my pain, and I would have to say that I feel much more relaxed in my body, much more relaxed. The anxiety went down, just much more a relaxed feeling in my body at this point.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, Dave, you've got a couple questions for Joe there. Now, you see, I'm going to inject just for a second. This gives you another viewpoint. I mean, not another viewpoint, but another experience of how people receive information. Joe was receiving incredible detail. I mean, down the hall, in the bathroom, looking at the blood on his face. You know, it wasn't like he was making up all these details, not that anyone was, but getting exquisite detail. He could have spent probably 2 hours just talking about that experience. So this was yet another person's experience of doing this work. Go ahead, Dave. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Oh, no worries. Joe, when you're feeling this, because your chronic pain started 8 years ago, did you feel actually that way back then you were actually feeling the pain that you were suffering today?
Meaning when I was going through the situation with her on here? No, I wasn't actually feeling the pain. I was actually feeling I would have to say more depression and more anxiety than I was feeling the actual pain, because it was more of a situation where it would be more of an emotional situation than a physical situation. Even though they punched me in the face and I got the blood, I wasn't really feeling the pain per se physically, but I definitely felt it mentally. So.
Mm-hmm. And Sandee, is that normal for someone who has pain now? Back then, it may have been depression or anxiety or a loss of oneself. Could that translate into pain today?
Well, it could be, but yeah, it could be, because the emotions were never resolved. So that's another key piece about this work and how I've been able to translate it and make it particularly effective in a very quick way, because often there's unresolved emotions, fear, panic, guilt, humiliation, shame, those kinds of things get sort of trapped in the body. And if the person doesn't get it resolved then, especially if they died under difficult circumstances, it's like there's almost, for lack of a better word, like a soul memory or a soul imprint that has carried over into present time and will often recreate some similar situations, events, or experiences because it never got resolved in the past.
And for a lot of people, because their nerves are so shot from maybe what happened to today, it's almost like juggling 3 cantaloupes and not wanting to drop any of them, even though they're so heavy. Like, the pain is heavy, the feeling is still heavy, and that's what we're carrying on. It may not be the pain that Joey has. It may be just...
And it may be the PTSD from that trauma. So he may have lived to be a grown man, but he still carried a certain amount of shame or humiliation about being, this little scrawny little kid in the back of the class that couldn't really stand up to the bullies, you see.
Mm-hmm. No, I fully understand with that. Now, Joe, when you are going through this, how clear was that picture for you? Tell our audience what it was like.
Very vivid for me. It was almost like a vivid dream, where I walked through it, and I just saw everything so vividly. Like, I saw the field, I saw the trees, I saw the kid standing in front of me, I saw the kid reaching back and punching me in the mouth. I saw me walking down the hallway, going to the bathroom to see what damage was done. So I would have to say it was a very vivid, dream-like, colorful, horror-filled dream, and I just saw everything in color, and it was just, it's amazing. I don't know, because I'm an empath, I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but that's what I saw. It was just like full color. It was like watching a TV, and it was just like full color with my eyes closed, full color. And I just saw everything around me. I was looking around. I saw a description. Like I said, I saw the field. I saw the trees. So
there was
a lot of description.
In the movie. He was in the movie himself. Would you say that, Joe?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was in the movie. So the gamut that we've run from the beginning with our First Lady, and who was not able to perceive anything at a visual level, all the way to Joe, who sees, hears, feels, and experiences it directly. So that has been quite a little roller coaster ride of the different levels of experience. So somebody will say, well, this is how it was, and so this is how it is for everyone. It's not. It runs the whole gamut, and you have to kind of know how to dance with that person and sort of scope out the scenario and then deal with the best way to deal with it for them.
Joe, I want to say thank you for calling in tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time. I hope that was able to help you out.
Yes, definitely, and I appreciate you, Dave, as always. Thank you very much, and thank you for having me call in and get this reading today. It really helped me. Thank you.
Appreciate that. And Sandee, we only have about 2 minutes left with you. I would love it if you can explain to people how they can get a hold of you for a full-on past life regression healing.
Okay. probably the best thing to do would be to get in touch with me through my website, and it would be a thing of requesting some time. I will say that I've been traveling for the last couple of weeks teaching, and I'm still currently in Texas. I'll be back in Arizona within about a week, but they could even just say that they heard me on your show and they want to have more of a discussion with me, and then we can have a phone chat. But please include their phone number so that I can get hold of them. My website is called designanew.com, and I'm just so grateful to have had this opportunity to connect with you and your listeners. I was so impressed last time how what a broad range of people that you attract and the number of subjects that you cover. It was just very exciting to see you're doing everything from Bigfoot to ETs on up and on down. And so you've got very, very tuned in, very conscious, sophisticated group of people. That's great.
We do. And you know what, Sandee? I'm very blessed as well because our audience is so loyal and they are so intelligent when it comes to every topic that they keep me on my toes, because if I don't come on out and I don't give them my best, they're going to outshine what we do here, and they do even when I am on my best. They are that knowledgeable. I'm very, very fortunate with that, for sure.
Great.
Now, I know Corey is going to try and get a hold of you over the next couple of days here in regards to seeing if we could do this again in July or August if you have some free time. I would love to do this same thing that we did. We've had some very positive responses, and everybody's leaving the phones happy, and I hope we can do it again.
Great. And please tell Leslie Mitchell-Clark hello from me. I've been on her show as well.
Wonderful.
So, you had Jason saying, say hello to Sandee, and then I'm saying hello to Leslie Mitchell-Clark. So you see, we really are all related across this continent and around the planet.
I will. And I'll get Corey to get a hold of you so we can do it again in a couple of months. Sandee Mac from designanew.com. You're a beautiful woman. You have a heart of gold. Thank you for helping my listeners tonight.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you, Corey. I look forward to speaking with you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. That's Sandee Mac, designanew.com. Check out her website if you wish to have a full regressive therapy healing session with her. I highly recommend you do. It is so worth it. We're going to step out for a break here at the top of the hour. Open lines right after this. Your questions, your comments on Spaced Out Radio.
Become more intimate and interactive with Spaced Out Radio. Join our Space Travelers Club with your new membership. For $5 a month, we'll provide you with special access to the website, monthly prize draws from books to psychic readings, along with monthly newsletter, private interviews, and more. Sign up today to be part of Spaced Out Radio's experience.
Every month on Spaced Out Radio, we look into the deep and dark reports of cryptids roaming around the world with me, Rob Morphy from Cryptopia.us. I would love it if you would join me and host Dave Scott as we delve into the most arcane stories and reports regarding creatures of the unknown. My job is to hunt down the details and bring the evidence forward to you. These aren't your regular Bigfoot stories I'm talking about either. You can find out more about crypto history at spacedoutradio.com.
Looking for a place to advertise at a very reasonable cost? Look no further than Spaced Out Radio. SpacedOutRadio.com has an advertising tab that you can click to check out our daily, weekly, and monthly packages to play on the radio, or our website including social media. From commercial spots to banners, we have it all. Check out our competitive pricing today.
You hear footsteps in the empty room above you. A rocking chair begins rocking by itself. Don't be afraid of the things that go bump in the night. Reach for Spirit Storybox, the iPhone app the Huffington Post UK called the only ghost hunting app you will ever need. Spirit Storybox. The spirits are telling their stories. Are you listening?
Strange creatures lurking in the night, the sounds of wood knocking in the forest, odd happenings right out of a fictional world. These are the reports I love. Hi there, this is author Ronald Murphy, And I would love it if you join me and Spaced Out Radio host Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month on our journey into the unknown land of cryptozoology at spacedoutradio.com. From Mothman to Frogman and everything in between. Hey, they don't call me the crypto guru for nothing.
Is the 24-hour world starting to wear you down? Let me from Rivulet Reiki and Readings lend you a hand. Hi, this is Jolene, and if you're in need of Reiki or a room reading, come to my website, rivuletrr.wix.com/rivuletrr&r, and let us help you out. At Rivulet, I specialize in healing your body, mind, and soul, no matter where you are. And be sure to check out the Rivulet R&R Facebook page for your best deals. Remember, it's time for you to make some time for you.
Find yourself constantly looking up in the sky, looking for answers? Have you had extraterrestrial contact? Are you an abductee? Looking for answers to your experiences? Hi there, I'm R. Keith Andrews, Spaced Out Radio's resident ET expert. Join me live the first Friday of every month where I take questions from the Spaced Out Radio chat room and help you understand those from the far-off world. It's 2 hours of knowledge every experiencer should listen to. Hope to see you there.
Did you know that Spaced Out Radio runs 7 days a week? Hi, it's James Tyson from Spaced Out Weekend. Every Saturday and Sunday night, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, you can join me and my guests for some great chatter about what's going on out in the universe, or even in that dark part of the basement you really don't want to go back into. Well, let's find the answers to your experiences together. So come on up to Uncle Jimbo's cabin on the weekend. For more information, look us up at spacedoutradio.com.
Would you like to connect with us on Spaced Out Radio? Head to spacedoutradio.com to check out the latest shows, guests, and sponsors. And don't forget to sign up for the Space Travelers Club. You'll find all you need at spacedoutradio.com. And welcome back to the final hour of Spaced Out Radio tonight. I am your host, Dave Scott. Always a pleasure to have you with us. And we want to thank Sandee Mac once again for being on the show with us and taking callers tonight. As what we were trying to do, and I think we did it pretty successfully, was we were trying to regress people to see where their pain comes from. How does it affect us today? Is it similar from a previous life? It's amazing. We're going to get a little bit more into that as we discuss it. We're going to open up the phone lines to you. Before we do that, tomorrow night on the show, Leslie Mitchell-Clark will join us. We're going to talk light workers. And this is a topic where we see a lot of people who are not into the New Age, and we don't do a lot of New Age on this show. But when we do, we want to make sure that they're able to help. Let's see what a light worker is. Let's see how they're trying to make mankind a lot happier, a lot healthier. Are there a lot of them out there? We'll find out tomorrow night with Leslie Mitchell-Clark. If you want to follow us on Twitter, you could do so at Spaced Out Radio. Give our Facebook page a like at Spaced Out Radio Show. On Instagram, I can be followed at Dave Scott, SOR. All of our archives are on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it, Spaced Out Radio Show, and of course our website is spacedoutradio.com. We are opening up the lines to you tonight, 1-702-302-4556. If you want to figure out what's going on with you, if you want to comment about Sandee Mac and the healings that she just did, it's pretty incredible. Or if you want to tell us a paranormal UFO story, it is all on you tonight. 1-702-302-4556. Your calls for the next hour. Or if you're in one of the chat rooms, which is Spaced Out Radio's chat room, Paranormal Into the Night, or Paranormal Forum, type them out. Paranormal Forum, I do have to say, I cannot log in right now. When there was the seizing of the website, not seizing as in the government taking it, but when it seized up, the technology seized up, I can't get access to it, so you'll have to jump into the Spaced Out Radio chat room in order to ask your questions, or just pass them on to Armand. I know Armand is in there right now, and maybe he can type them out for us. I would really appreciate that. SHR Media, thank you so much for being our first of hopefully many different syndicated radio stations that picks us up. Don't forget, you can hop on in as well at any time into one of our chat rooms that we follow. Now, Friday night on the show, we will be having the SOR Roundtable. It is user-friendly, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be having our list of guests come on in. Joey will be dressed in a penguin suit. That'll be nice. Hopefully he has a tight bow tie done up. And we're going to ask some questions. And we are going to talk about the subjects of the paranormal, ufological, cryptozoological, spiritual. Anything is on target. It is on limits. That's the way we do it here at the mighty SOR. So we want to make sure that you guys are involved as well. We will take your calls. We will take your questions. As the panel does not know the questions, only I do. It's the way I like to do things. Keep them on topic. Keep them on the edge. Sandee Mac, when she came on the first time, she told us an incredible story, as I mentioned in the intro, about Corey, my booking coordinator. And Corey, if you're still here, if you're still in the Space Out Radio chat room, and you feel like calling in, do so, because I think it would be important to tell your story again. And one of the things that amazed me about this, I didn't really buy into this whole thing that Sandee was trying to tell us, or when Corey booked Sandee, but Corey was so adamant that it worked. It was moving. When you see someone right in front of you who can heal from a debilitating disease such as epilepsy, and they are happy, they're healthy, and pretty much seizure-free since getting the full-on long diagnosis and work from Sandee Mac at designanew.destiny.com. It's pretty moving. It's emotional when you see it happen right in front of you. And like I said, if it wasn't for Corey, I probably would not have brought Sandee on, because it's one of those topics you try on this side of the seat to have an open mind. But it's hard when you think, geez, something that may have happened 1,000 years ago, 4,000 years ago, is affecting you as it did today. It sounds so preposterous. It really does. It sounds so untrue. And I'm just getting a message from Lisa in Paranormal Into the Night. She was on about an hour ago getting a reading from Sandee, where Sandee regressed her about fibromyalgia, headaches, depression, anxiety. And Lisa has just stated, hey, listen, Dave, my headache is literally gone right now. I've been fighting it all day. That's incredible, Lisa. And Lisa's a good, hard-working, honest person. She suffers every day. She fights pain every day. And to have her come on here and say her headache is gone in the 20 minutes that she had on the air with Sandee, there has to be something to that. There totally has to be something to that. It's amazing. I never thought I would believe it, but I'm seeing it right now. I'm kind of shocked by this. Thank you for posting that, Lisa. I really do appreciate that. 1-702-302-4556. The number to call in, 1-702-302-4556. You know what, Lisa? I know you're in the chat room right now. I would like you to call back in. I want you to tell me where your headache was, what was happening. I need to know. And I think our audience needs to know. So I'm going to type into the Paranormal Into the Night chat room the phone number, once again, if you don't have it on your redial. Here comes Corey.
On your redial.
Corey, turn your sound down if you don't mind. We're getting a little bit of an echo.
Sorry.
I hear me on the other side.
I did. We're good now?
Yeah.
I like to hear you, though, Dave.
I know. I don't like hearing myself, as weird as that sounds. I don't even have...
I hate hearing myself, too.
I know. Now, Corey, I want to say thank you for calling in, because I wanted to bring you back on here, because how long has it been now since you dealt with Sandee Mac and since you've had an epileptic seizure?
Well, when was she last on your show? Like 2 months ago?
I'm just looking. I believe it was in February because it was before we came on to the Spreaker server.
So, anyways, whenever she was on your show, it was 5 months. So now it's April. It's got to be like 7 or 8 months now, maybe something like that. Anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Outside, my sound's still on. And I haven't had a seizure since. I had 2 little blips right around the time that she was actually on your show. I haven't had anything since then, which is crazy because I have had epilepsy for about 10 years. And without my medication, I would have had a seizure anywhere between 1 and about 5 days. And now it's been, I don't even know, I'm just guessing like 7, 8 months.
That's amazing. I'm
still
blown away.
Like, that's something that's concrete, right? That is concrete.
What does your doctor say about this?
Oh, geez. Well, I haven't talked to my doctor since just before, actually, when Sandee was on the show. I think I talked to my neurologist about a week before then, and he had said to me, well, I understand maybe these things are possible, but he said I can't, a word that he would have said, I can't condone that, maybe, something like that, because he is like a scientific doctor. But he said, I do understand that maybe these things can happen. And I just laughed, and I said, no, I totally understand that. And I didn't expect him to actually say, oh, yay, you're healed, and yes, we should do this kind of treatment, because he's a doctor, and they don't usually say things like that, right? Oh, are you there? Are you there?
Corey, I had to hang up on you for a quick second there because I accidentally lost Lisa, and that's my fault, and she had called in. So I'm going to call both of you back here in 2 seconds. So let's add Corey back to the call. You may hear a little bit of a dial tone as it comes in, or did I actually mute that? Okay. Corey's line is busy. And you know what's funny is I just told her to turn her speakers off. So I'm going to call Lisa back now and get Lisa back in here as we dial in to Lisa. This is where we play the Jeopardy song right now. It's ringing. I wonder... There it is. Let's get Lisa on the line. This will be on my dime, Lisa. Just pick up your phone. Let's got the fingers crossed. Will Lisa pick up? Will Lisa pick up?
Hello?
There she is.
I had to plug my phone in because it died, but I think we can talk it. Let me answer it. So.
Okay, I want you to be patient. I'm going to get Corey back in here, too, so we're going to hear another dial tone, okay? So let me get Corey back in here as she was right in the middle of something. Oh, there's Corey right there. Let's add her to the group call. Corey, how you doing?
Are you serious? Did you hang up on me?
I so hung up on you. I was so shocked. No, what happened was I lost Lisa on this end, and I thought I may have hit a button because I'm still a rookie at this whole taking call thing. So it is my fault. Yeah.
Well, no, it's not. My phone died.
Love you.
That's what happened.
Okay.
So.
Corey, I want you to stick around for a moment here. But Lisa, you talked to Sandee tonight about an hour ago at this time. Mm-hmm. You're someone who suffers from fibromyalgia. You have depression, anxiety, much like I do. You suffer from so many different things. You're a real trooper and a real survivor, and thank you for keeping up the good fight. My mother is a breast cancer survivor and colon cancer survivor as well. So
wow,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you too. I have this headache that I get all the time. It's mostly tension. I get so worried and so worked up about things, and I have problems with my sinuses, so that's part of it. Earache, all that stuff. And I was fighting one earlier so bad I had to come home. I was at my mom and dad's, and I came home, and I was going to lay down and listen, and I saw that, Sandee was going to be on, and I thought maybe I'll give her a call. And I swear, my headache is gone.
This amazes me.
My headache is gone, and I can breathe without, how when you hold your breath because you're so tense, and you don't realize you're not breathing. I do that a lot. And right now, it's just, I don't have that. So, yeah.
Did you have any cognitive thinking that this isn't going to work, but maybe I'll just flip a quarter in the air and see if it works?
Yeah, I'll try anything. Almost. But yeah, I did. I thought, we'll see what happens. And I didn't really, when she was talking to me, I was still not quite sure that, that it was what I was thinking was right. Like being out in this field with the rolling hills and stuff, I could see them, but you know how you always you second guess yourself. You don't know. So yeah, I still didn't. I wasn't sure. And then I just realized that I don't have a headache, and so I had to tell you.
That is that's fantastic. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad it worked for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to call her. I think I'm going to contact her on her website and take this further because it was just the tip of the iceberg, I'm sure. So.
And I have... No problem, Lisa. And I have Corey on here as well, who hasn't had an epileptic seizure since talking to Sandee.
No, I heard that. That's crazy. That's awesome.
I think Corey's there. Or are you hanging out, Corey? Or are you just keep...
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, there you are.
I'm trying to be quiet. I'm trying to be quiet.
Hi, Corey.
First time forever.
Well, I'm happy for you. That's a huge thing.
Well, and you know what you said? It's like, Lisa, you're still on the line, so that's good. You were saying that you didn't know whether you were just making stuff up, and that's the way I felt.
Well, I didn't think that.
I didn't know where I was making stuff up. Sandee just kept saying, say whatever you're thinking. And there was maybe two times, we did maybe a 20-minute session, and there was maybe 2 times in the session where, well, a lot of the time, most of the time, I was just agonizing over what I was going to say, but it was like, that's what I was thinking. And she's like, yep. And there was maybe 2 times where I really didn't say what I wanted to say, and I said something different. And then she said, maybe not. And I said, okay, well, what I was really going to say was this. And she was doing her pendulum jazz, and she said, yeah, that's it. It's just because I wasn't trusting my intuition, and because I couldn't see it, and I didn't believe it.
Yep.
And I still don't know whether I believe it. I really do believe it now because
you don't have any seizures. Yeah. That's a good reason to believe it.
Yeah, definitely. So thank you for actually just trusting your intuition, because it's a really hard thing to do because I don't do it myself. If I'm really sure of something, I'm really great at saying that. But if I'm doubting it, I'm the first one to be very skeptical of...
I'm never sure of anything.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
No problem.
Just listening to you actually say that earlier.
One at a time, ladies. Hey, we're one at a time. Okay, Lisa, you were saying something.
I love your show.
Oh, well,
totally
thank
love
you.
Your show. I mean, it's the best show ever. And if I'm not in the room or anything, I'm listening, or I'll listen later. I just love it. It's better than Art Bell. I never thought I'd say that.
Oh, wow.
About anything, but it truly is.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right, Lisa, I'm going to send you back to the Paranormal Into the Night chat room, and thank you so much for being with us. Corey, the stories, I mean, you listen to Lisa, and you have your own story as well in regards to everything. You hear your story and Lisa's, and I'm at a loss for words here. Normally, I can talk through anything.
No, that's great. I love it.
I
love it.
Because, like I said, normally I can talk through anything because, well, that's kind of my job. I'm like a poodle, man. I just yap if there's a crosswind. But when I see things like this happen and the impact, like, one thing that I noticed, if you listen to Lisa's voice as she was talking to us right now, compared to when she phoned up and talked to Sandee the first time, you can totally tell the difference. Like, you can tell there's a whole energy shift and an energy change in that 20 minutes. Did you notice that as well?
I didn't, but I would like to listen back, and I will take note of that. I will definitely take note of that.
No, listen to it well, because her voice is different. She seemed very meek, very unsure, everything when she first got onto the phone with Sandee. And then just listening to her moments ago tell the story about there is no headache. For someone who has a headache all day, almost every day, I don't know. Maybe Sandee is just blessed with a special gift from God. Never mind the dowsing and the past life regression, but I find it very successful. And
well, it'll be interesting to check in with her maybe in a couple of days and see how that's going too. Because
Absolutely.
that's what it is. Actually, is to maybe check in with everybody that has called tonight and see in the next week or two just if they have noticed a shift. Because nobody really is going to notice a shift tonight, except maybe Lisa did. But the rest of the callers probably really won't notice a shift until they start actually living their life and noticing that something has actually changed. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm going to get Joey and Corrine, if they're still both around, to call back in at the next half hour. And Kelly, if you want to call back in and just tell us how you're doing, if you have any change in your feeling from the first call, because I know you were really struggling with it, but I thought we did start to make some progress. I would like to hear what you guys say now that Sandee is off the air, now that Sandee is, not going to be back for a couple of months, and your body has had some time to chill out, take it all in. Are you feeling any different? I'd like to hear from them once again in the next half hour. Corey, were you a believer of Sandee's, or did you just kind of throw your arms in the air and say, what the hell, I'll give this a try?
Just before we say that, I don't think that the people that called in tonight will even feel anything right now. That's what I said before. I think it might take some time. So they can call in, but I don't really think that, something that is in your life, I really don't think they may even feel it for a few days or a few weeks. But, yes, to answer your question, I didn't believe it. I was very skeptical. I've tried to be hypnotized a few times, maybe like 5 times. I never saw anything, so I never really thought it would actually would work. And then Sandee kept saying, just tell me what you're thinking. And I don't like that because I don't like having to rely on my intuition. I'm really great with my intuition a lot of times, but when I have to pull it out at that time, I'm very skeptical about it. I didn't think it would really work, but it really did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I am just thrilled. You know what? She did a mini one on me about my knees because I have bad knees the last time that she called in, and I've been struggling with my knees since childhood and leg pains. And I remember she took me back, I think it was like in the 1500s, and my family lived in this gravel or solid rock house, and there was a little gravel road right in front of it, and then a big field, and I started getting chased by a dog, and as I was running down the hill, and I was, believe it or not, I was a little girl back then, and what had happened was I tripped and fell and broke my legs, and having Sandee bring that up and me picturing it, like even now describing it, I can still see the whole thing happening again. Now, my knees, I have arthritis in them now because too many sports injuries back in the day when I was thin, handsome, and somewhat athletic. Now I'm just handsome and handsome. That's it. But
you're handsome. You're handsome.
Oh, thank you. And I'm blushing now, to be honest. But I still get arthritis in my knees because of that. But my legs really have only ached once since Sandee put me through that. And that was only about a 10-minute regression that we did. So I can just imagine what a full regression would feel like. It's pretty incredible. And you know what?
That's right. I forgot about that.
Armand in the... Yeah.
I remember her doing that with you. So you've really felt better since then.
I have. Minus the arthritis in the knees, which I know is self-inflicted. I do know that. But for the most part, I honestly, I feel lighter. I feel like there isn't as much pressure on my legs anymore. And it really helped out. Armand in the Spaced Out Radio chat room is saying, I am the biggest skeptic you will ever meet, but he wants to try it out. And like Corey, if you knew Corey personally, you would know she is very skeptical on everything as well. But I think when it comes to Sandee, you almost need to go in skeptical. You almost need to have that fact that, you know what, I'm unsure if this is going to work. And I've seen
Armand. I am like the biggest skeptic, not the biggest skeptic ever, but I am there's a word, and we've talked about that before, a skeptical optimist, or so, there's a word like that, and that's me. And I was very skeptical, but hey, I have been seizure-free for 5 months. And since Sandee's been on your show, it's been maybe 2 months, so that's 7 months. And I had a seizure every other day, or I maybe could go for like 5 days without a seizure. And now it's been, say, 7 months. So that to me is very concrete. And so all I have to say is to Armand is just give her a try.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you got nothing.
You know what? Maybe it will enable some positive thoughts for all of us in our personal healings. That's what it's about. Enabling positive thoughts. Corey, if you want to, do you want to stick around and talk a little bit more about this? Or do you want
to talk more about this?
It's up to you. It's up to you. This is a call-in show. We are opening up the lines. If you want to hang out, you can. If you want to go sit in the SOR hot tub, you can do that,
I think I'm going to the hot tub, actually. I just have a friend here that brought some nice cold beer, and we just did talk about sitting in the SOR hot tub. So how about if we see something really cool, I'll text it to you. Actually, Dave, I will do that. I will text you because you'll get my text. If and when we see something really cool, which you probably will, I'll text it to you.
Hell with that. I'm ending the show and coming to hop in the hot tub. That's
okay, there you go. Okay, we got some beer.
That sounds good. I'm going to step out for a commercial. Corey, thank you so much for...
good night, buddy.
Good night. See you later. Have fun in the hot tub. Bye. Thanks for the invite.
Bye.
What a good booking coordinator you are, not even inviting me to the hot tub. All right, we're going to commercial now. We got half hour left here on Spaced Out Radio. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. We will talk to you right after this break.
Are you interested in advertising on Spaced Out Radio?
Head to our website at spacedoutradio.com and click on our advertising tab. There you will find an assortment of ways you can get your product out there with us.
From the radio, commercials, to banners, to social media.
Have a product you'd like our host to endorse? We can do that too.
Visit spacedoutradio.com for more details.
Visit purpleplates.com today. For over 40 years, the Purple Energy Plates have been delivering amazing results for their many customers. Inspired by the great genius Nikola Tesla, the harmony, healing, and energetic effects of the plates have proven over and over to be beneficial and often miraculous to thousands of customers. With their money-back guarantee and the many benefits, how can you afford not to get one? Check their site for daily specials and choose from their many energy products. You won't be sorry.
Right here, this is where we divulge the fruit of our research. Here on the Webster Phenomena every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern on Spaced Out Radio.
Attention Spaced Out Radio listeners. For only $5 a month, you can join Spaced Out Radio Space Travelers. Your membership at spacedoutradio.com will give you access to private fan area on the website, get you a monthly newsletter, draws for monthly swag, and a whole lot more. Sign up today to become a part of the Spaced Out Radio experience.
Strange creatures lurking in the night, the sounds of wood knocking in the forest, odd happenings right out of a fictional world. These are the reports I love. Hi there, this is author Ronald Murphy, and I would love it if you join me and Spaced Out Radio host Dave Scott the second Wednesday of every month on our journey into the unknown land of cryptozoology at spacedoutradio.com. From Mothman to Frogman and everything in between. Hey, they don't call me the crypto guru for nothing.
Greetings and salutations, space travelers, from the Chronicles of the Unknown team.
What is Chronicles of the Unknown? I keep hearing about this thing.
It's a new paranormal reality TV show based right here in beautiful British Columbia, Canada. Follow our team as we uncover claims of activity on the Caribou Gold Rush Trail. You can also follow us here every third Monday, where two members of our team will be available to answer your questions. We'll give you some equipment updates and some of our experiences on the road, right here on Spaced Out Radio.
The last Monday of the month on Spaced Out Radio is a night of psychic vision, mediumship, UFO and ET contact, Bigfoot stories, animal communication, and so much more with me, Elizabeth Anglin. I'd love it if you would join host Dave Scott and I on the myriad of topics we delve into. Every month, we share new views that may help you understand your own experiences. So tune on in at spacedoutradio.com and stamp your cosmic passport.
Did you know that Spaced Out Radio runs 7 days a week? Hi, it's James Tyson from Spaced Out Weekend. Every Saturday and Sunday night, starting at 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern, you can join me and my guests for some great chatter about what's going on out in the universe, or even in that dark part of the basement you really don't want to go back into. Well, let's find the answers to your experiences together. So come on up to Uncle Jimbo's cabin on the weekend. For more information, look us up at spacedoutradio.com.
Missed most of tonight's show? Don't worry, you didn't miss a thing. You can head to our website, spacedoutradio.com, and download our archives for free. And don't forget to get your Space Travelers membership today. Now, back to tonight's show. So we've been playing a little game in this Paranormal Into the Night chat room where they've been putting words up that I got to try and put into sentences. It's a lot of fun. I'm not going to tell you what the words are. They just kind of slip on through. If you're always interested in chatting in Paranormal Into the Night, if you're a Facebook fan, just join their group. Dino runs one hell of a group, and they follow us on a nightly basis. I commend you for doing that. Or if you're in Paranormal Forum, that is also a great chat room as well. We got a lot of responses from people. Armand, Debbie, and the gang over there is fantastic. They have absolutely turned to our show. We thank them for that. And of course, we have our loyal listeners in the Spaced Out Radio chat room. Tomorrow night on the show, Leslie Mitchell-Clark will join us. We're going to talk light workers. We're going to talk about what we need to do in order to bring some light to this dark planet. It's kind of dark out there the past couple of years. We need to spruce things up a bit. We need it to rain Twinkies down on the earth, because everybody loves a good Twinkie. That would make everybody happy and smile. Maybe some cotton candy, too. I like the cotton candy. I want to say hello and a shout-out to everybody in the SHR Media Room who are tuning in to us on shrmedia.com. Appreciate you guys tuning in. And also, I do want to mention that if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do so at Spaced Out Radio. Give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. On Instagram, you can follow us at Dave Scott, SOR. I want to take the time to thank Kathy Hook Fisher, who does all of our live tweeting and our Instagram updates. She is so awesome at it. So you can give her a round of applause, give her a clap. You know what? We'll do that right now. Hold on. I got this. That's for Kathy. Just great job, Kathy. Great job. You're fantastic. The crowd is cheering you on. Thank you so much for doing what you do. And, of course, all of our archives are on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. Spaced Out Radio Show. Would appreciate that. Our website is spacedoutradio.com. Now, before we go any further, I do want to explain something. Corey's hot tub, because Corey lives near me, and she spends a lot of time in her hot tub. That's kind of her zen area, her chi. And while she's out there, and we've nicknamed it the SOR hot tub, Corey doesn't really know yet or fully understand that she has become quite a summoner for UFOs. So that's kind of what we were talking about when she said if she sees anything, she will immediately text me to see what's up in the sky. Because she sees UFOs up there on a daily basis. Now, I'm not talking the kind that just look like a satellite strolling on by and maybe the sun hits the metal on the satellite just at the right angle and it goes really bright. I'm not talking that at all. Like, Corey gets, like, zigzagging and craft. She's even had clouds disappear, like giant clouds disappear right in front of her. It's pretty amazing. She hasn't quite accepted all of this that is going on. I'm sure she blames me a little bit in regards to it. Because since she met me, all this stuff has started happening. But it's kind of interesting. Gail has a question in Paranormal Into the Night. Dave, do you encourage listeners to send suggestions for guests to Corey? Gail, yes, I do. If any of you have a guest that you want to hear on this show, now, I do want to remind you, we are usually booked 5 to 8 weeks in advance, but we will try and get them. Corey's email is very simple, bookings@spacedoutradio.com. Once again, that's bookings@spacedoutradio.com. I will type that in there for you. We're always looking for your suggestions for guests. Why? Because in the end, it's about who you want to hear. We try and bring on as many guests as we can in regards to the topics. But just remember, it all depends if the guest decides to respond to the email. We have good success rate with that, as you can tell with us being booked so far in advance. You know, nothing smelly here, nothing skunky here. We do it all on the up and up, and that's why we're usually able to get the guests that we do. It's kind of cool in regards to that. So, if you have any suggestions and you want to be able to send a guest request for us to try and track down, you can do so at bookings@spacedoutradio.com. Corey will get that, and we will try and get things going very, very quickly on there. Once again, I want to get back to Sandee Mac. Hearing Corey's story and more so Lisa's story tonight, I'm still a little amazed and a little dumbfounded by that, because I don't mean to beat a dead horse here or really try and, how can I put this? keep going in circles. I know I've said it a couple of times. But the healing that happened tonight is very, very interesting. I'm looking forward in a couple of weeks to following up with Lisa, Joey, Kelly, and Corrine, who called in. And I didn't even have to look at my notes to pull out those names. I try and pay attention. But it's very interesting to see how quickly it works for some, and some may take a week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. So, Corey, Kelly, Lisa, Joey, what I'd like you to do is in 2 weeks, give me a message. Send me a message on Facebook, because I know we're all Facebook friends, or on Twitter, and let me know how it goes for you. Let me know how it goes. It's very interesting. Dumbfounding. And if any of you get a hold of Sandee on your website, on her website, designanew.destiny.com, and you have the full reading with her, I want to know how that goes too. I'm very interested in this. And it's amazing that with what she does, I would be curious to, next time she gets on the air, I will ask her this, what her success rate is. Or even if she takes notes on a success rate. Because really, the unfortunate part of what she does is there's no way to prove it. There's no way to prove it. But the person who is feeling better can definitely talk about the experience. The experience is something that is very, very intriguing. And if it helps, the way like it's helped Lisa tonight, the way it is helping Corey, 7 months without a seizure, it's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting indeed when you think about everything that is going on. If you want to call in, talk about any topic, we got about 17 minutes left. 1-702-302-4557, or make that 4556, is the phone number. 702-302-4556. Would appreciate that. Tomorrow night, once again, Leslie Mitchell Clark will be with us, talking light work. I find it very interesting that this week was one of many anniversaries. Today, actually, and I'm going to take this call momentarily, at about 9 o'clock Pacific time tonight, it was 4 years ago that I actually got engaged to Mrs. Spaced Out Radio in Las Vegas. She had no clue. Nailed her. Nailed her with the ring. She thought two of our friends we were with, she thought it was them, but I pulled the wool over her eyes. Area code 918. Who is this and where are you calling from? Oh, this sounds like Roz. What a guess. What a guess. How you doing, my friend? Yes. Sandee Mac. Oh, one's...
Using over the phone.
One sec, Ross. I'm being an amateur here, and I actually forgot to put the Skype mic back on. So you wanted to talk about Sandee Mac, and you think she's doing some pretty good things.
yeah, she sounded like she's doing fantastic things, and her regressions. It was eye-opening because you hear so much out there in the business that you are, and there's so many people that are fixed, and she sounded genuine, sincere, and like the real deal.
Mm-hmm. I was pretty amazed. I was pretty amazed.
No, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, because there was phone people calling in, I was listening, and I was like, oh, wow. I mean, she actually sounded like she knew what she was doing and was genuinely concerned about the people and not, the money or the fame or the fortune, because what happened to Miss Cleo, supposedly she was so psychic that, she had a 1-900 number back in the day, and she couldn't foresee getting hit with a brick because she was supposedly a psychic. I don't remember that. That was a big thing in the 2000s with the psychic phone lines.
I do remember that.
Cleo.
I remember that.
But
yes. Don't forget Miss Cleo's fake Caribbean accent too.
Oh, yeah, man, call with the phone number, now give you the reading, my friend.
It was horrible. It was horrible.
If you can get a few guests on, I don't know, I remember I sent you a link about the Bigfoot bill, and I don't know if you watched it or finished it, over the internet. It's on YouTube. But down here in Oklahoma, we have a big Bigfoot festival called Hanobia, little town Oklahoma down by the border of Oklahoma and Texas. And they have this, Bigfoot festival. The town is so small, it has less than probably 500 people that live in that area, but that's where a lot of Bigfoot sightings are. And there is this one guy that I sent you a link to called Bigfootville, and he is Native American, and his name is Tim Harjo. When you have the guy from Texas, his Bigfoot Society, I was trying to get through and see if he knew about him. But he is featured, on that Bigfootville documentary that at that time the Discovery Channel put out. And I would like for you to get a hold of him if possible, because he's full-blood First Nations, and it's down there in the southeast corner border of Texas where many Bigfoot sightings take place. And he's very intuitive with the things that, the things that he said, things he saw. There's a few things that, I agree with, and a lot of things that make sense. So,
Hey, could you do me a favor, Roz?
Yes, sir.
I would love it if you could get those names to Corey, my booking coordinator, and I wish I could type it into Paranormal Forum right now, but unfortunately, I can't get in there right now.
No, I understand.
Okay. And what I would like you to do is real simple. Bookings at spacedoutradio.com. If you can ask Corey, just put some names down, when that festival is, we will contact them and try and get one or two people on from that. And if there's specific names on there that you want, put them down there. I'd love to get them on.
Okay. He's not famous or anything. He's just somebody who was just very in tune with I don't want to say the Bigfoot, but he's very in tune with nature. And he was on there, and it was just one of the people that I saw, and I thought, well, it would be a good guest. And at the same time, I was trying to get a hold of you about the shapeshifter murders that happened in the 70s. There was a group of Girl Scouts that got murdered in the 70s in northeastern Oklahoma. And they really never found the killer, but they blamed it on the First Nations persons who claimed was a shapeshifter, and that it was just basically an easy scapegoat. I don't know if you remember all that I sent you.
Yes, I do.
So, I'm not trying to clear his name, but, it's just a very intriguing case to where they never actually caught somebody who...
I got to tell you this. You know what I would love, Roz? There's nothing more that I would love on this show is to actually get a First Nations member who is openly willing to talk publicly about Bigfoot. I don't know what it's like down there, but I know up here the treatment that happened 100 years ago, 200 years ago, and especially the way the white man has gone after Bigfoot on a Christian scientific level, as I like to call it. I think for the most part, most investigators of Bigfoot have forgotten to include what your culture and the First Nations culture has learned about Bigfoot. And has when you have that many stories over time, there's something to it. It's not just a legend that some grandfather or great-grandfather is making up. And I got a real issue with that. So one of my goals on this show is to actually find a First Nations person who will actually talk Bigfoot on this show, because I'm a firm believer that Bigfoot is a shapeshifter or interdimensional. There are people that don't agree with me. I'm fine with that. I'm very fine with that.
So, I agree with you 100%. You know, we've had this conversation before, and like we talked about the Predator, I think that's exactly what it does and what it acts like. So, Tim Harjo's your guy. I will try to find more information for you about that. But he was on that documentary called Bigfootville that was on the Discovery Channel. You can find it on YouTube. And he's probably at the very end. That's one of those famous scenes you'll see. But I will definitely pass along the information.
Awesome. I would appreciate that. Hey, I got one question for you, because I know you're a Bigfoot enthusiast. Over the last couple of days, it's really come out about the second Bigfoot that is in the Patterson-Gimlin film from 50 years ago. Have you read into that yet?
No, I haven't. I haven't even seen I've seen the film, but I haven't seen the second one.
I haven't seen the second one either, but apparently because that Bigfoot that Roger Patterson, Pat Gimlin filmed that day, if you haven't watched it up close and personal, one thing that I'm going to say here is it's amazing if you look up close that that's a female Bigfoot. When they zoom in, you can see the breasts of the creature on there. But apparently now what they're saying is behind one of the stumps in behind her, there is actually a baby Bigfoot.
Well, you know what, honestly wasn't surprising, because everything my family told me, I haven't had a personal encounter with Bigfoot, but I've had my mom, my stepdad, my grandpa, and my cousins who've had encounters with them. And they had in plain sight. And the best thing I can relate to is the very last scene of Harry and Henderson, when there's always they let Harry go back out to the wild, and the Bigfoot stand up and turn around, and you're like, oh my goodness, you know, I know it was a movie back in the 80s, but that's how they equate it. They hide in plain sight. They let you see them if you want to see them. If you're open and just in contact with nature, you will see their trails. You will see things they leave behind, and you will see them. If you're just a Joe Blow who hasn't been out in the woods wanting to go hunting, you're not going to recognize the things that nature does. Just like people who fish for the first time, they don't know how to fish with the land, fish with the air, fish with the wind. You know, there's certain patterns that nature follows. And the more time you spend out in nature, you will see that, and you'll be like, oh, nature's showing me the way, in which it does. And if somebody's a Bigfoot hunter, I really hope they don't shoot them, because they've been with us so many years and centuries. You know, they've coexisted. Just let them be, and, you know, they will let you be as well.
Mm-hmm. I fully agree with that. I fully agree. I hope it doesn't come down where we have to kill a Bigfoot or think that we have to kill a Bigfoot in order for his existence. And you know what? The one thing I like about being here in British Columbia, there's actually a law that makes it illegal to kill a Bigfoot in this province?
Maybe we should adopt that in the United States, because I look at it like this. If you believe in Bigfoot, Bigfoot will believe in you.
I fully agree with you there. I fully agree. It's
Have
funny.
a good night, sir.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for calling in. Roz from Paranormal Forum. Appreciate you calling in. We only got a couple of minutes left before we get things going, and we're going to get into that probably on Friday night during the SOR Roundtable. We're going to get into a little bit more Bigfoot with our panel of guests that comes on in and hits us up for our questions of the night. Great calls tonight, guys and gals. Thank you for keeping everything up to date with us. I really do appreciate that. It's phenomenal. It is great to have all of you participating, whether you're in Paranormal Forum, Paranormal Into the Night, Spaced Out Radio chat room. Fully love all of you. Thank you for being with us. It's been a great show. Sandee Mac was our guest tonight, doing regressive healings. Once again, Joey, Corrine, Kelly, Lisa. I feel like I'm missing someone. No, that's it. Let me know how you feel in a few weeks. Couple weeks. We're going to check in with all of you to see if anything has helped improve your situation after that short regressive healing from Sandee Mac. DesignANewDestiny.com is her website. It's that time. Bumblefoot, guitar god, musical genius, formerly of Guns N' Roses. Little brother is watching. This album can be found on Spaced Out Radio. Just enjoy the music. Feel it. Just enter your system. He's fantastic. Desensitized in our lust for attention, democratized by our voyeur obsessions, watching you and watching me. We're almost time to say goodnight here on Spaced Out Radio. Thank you so much for tuning in to the show tonight. Your phone calls were great. Thank you for participating in the open lines. We want to heat that up a little bit more, if you wouldn't mind. Help us out with that. Spread the word of the show. We are growing bigger and better every day, and it's all because of you, the great audience. You guys keep me on my toes, and I mean that when I say that. You guys keep me energized. Doing this 7 days a week. Spaced Out Radio, 3 hours a night. Me Monday through Friday, Uncle Jimbo James Tyson Saturdays and Sundays. It's always a pleasure to broadcast live to you. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at Spaced Out Radio. Give our Facebook page a like, Spaced Out Radio Show. On Instagram, Dave Scott, SOR. Our YouTube channel is Spaced Out Radio Show. That's where we hide our archives. Please do me a favor, click on the subscribe button for that. I would greatly appreciate that. And our website is spacedoutradio.com. Enjoy the night. Tomorrow night, Leslie Mitchell Clark, we get into a little new age light work. We spread it around. It's like peanut butter. Spread it around. Get it nice and thick. We talk all topics here on the Mighty SOR. Spread the word to your friends. Lots of groups out there who are looking for a new home. Let them know about us. That's the favor I ask. If you like what we're doing, spread the word. I would appreciate that. Space Travelers Club coming up very, very soon. We'll talk to you in 22 hours. Good night.